Evacuation of an apartment complex for several hours.
It follows a similar incident at LA City Hall. KTLA's John Finolio live in Hollywood with what we know tonight. John?
Sandra, Mike, just seconds ago, the police tape came down. Firefighters and LAPD clearing this scene. You can see one of those squad cars taking off right now. The story, though, happening just down the street. We are on Schrader Boulevard near Hollywood Boulevard. If we push up, all the tail.
Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Clifford Johnston, with the Mojave Podcast Transmission, and we're going to be playing Halo Campaign. But until that happens, we're going to be catching up on some news, and I'm going to have that playing in the background, like I usually do, to comment and react to it while I'm playing this game.
Lights. Those are people trying to get back to this apartment building that.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this with other people who like this different type of content. It is 2 a.m. October 4th, 2026.
Was evacuated.
I'm in the mobile rig studio, and I'm going to go get a few things inside the house, and then I'll be right back.
Earlier today, it was a package that was delivered here that a woman opened it, became dizzy, and passed out. Let's get you right to some of this video we captured earlier. Firefighters then discovered that they may have been dealing with an unknown and possibly dangerous substance. This all happening, of course, during busy drive time right here in the Hollywood area. The fire department says the woman who opened that package reaction after neighbors say a delivered.
Good evening. I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Sandra Mitchell. Cher has the night off. We're going to start with breaking news in Hollywood, where a hazardous material scare forced the evacuation of an apartment complex for several hours.
It follows a similar incident at LA City Hall. KTLA's John Finolio live in Hollywood with what we know tonight. John?
Sandra, Mike, just seconds ago, the police tape came down. Firefighters and LAPD clearing this scene. You can see one of those squad cars taking off right now. The story, though, happening just down the street. We are on Schrader Boulevard near Hollywood Boulevard. If we push up, all the tail lights, those are people trying to get back to this apartment building that was evacuated earlier today. It was a package that was delivered here that set off a chain reaction after neighbors say a woman opened it, became dizzy, and passed out. Let's get you right to some of this video we captured earlier. Firefighters then discovered that they may have been dealing with an unknown and possibly dangerous substance. This all happening, of course, during busy drive time right here in the Hollywood area. The fire department says the woman who opened that package that she received in the mail, she became dizzy, she lost consciousness. They tested that area, then evacuated the 7-story building. It's known as the Hollywood Arts Collective Apartments. Several firefighters who were exposed to that substance were isolated and decontaminated. The fire department says that no one was transferred to the hospital, including firefighters, and that the woman who had passed out declined to be taken to the hospital. We also spoke with a neighbor earlier. Listen.
Somebody received a box, or a box was delivered here, or a package, let's put it that way, which contained a white substance. I don't know what was in the what the substance was. Apparently nobody does. But out of an abundance of caution, they decided to call the police and have it all looked into. Everybody has not been evacuated. Those who were inside at this point are remaining inside.
And we can tell you that the woman who initially passed out, that again is what prompted this evacuation order. Some people were allowed to remain in their apartments, but a lot of people who lived near the apartment where that woman received this package with an unknown substance, well, those apartments were evacuated. But as we mentioned at the top, the police tape has come down and people are now being allowed back into this apartment building. This all happens, though, happened earlier today. A similar story, a package sent to LA City Hall, found in the mailroom with an unknown, possibly concerning substance. That prompted a temporary evacuation. All clear now. The fire department says they are no longer handling this scene. It has been handed off to LAPD Major Crimes. No word yet on if this incident here in Hollywood is connected to the one at City Hall. For now, reporting live in Hollywood, I'm John Fenolio, sending it back to you in the studio.
Thank you, John. Concern is growing tonight for a woman who hasn't been seen for weeks after her 2 dogs and a bag of belongings were discovered in the parking lot at a SoCal beach.
KTLA's Mary Beth McDade live in Pacific Palisades. She's got a lot more on the mysteries surrounding the woman's disappearance. MB?
Yeah, Sandra and Micah, the Good Samaritan who discovered the dogs and is now caring for them, doesn't think that this woman abandoned her pets. He fears something more sinister could have happened.
She's a good girl. That's a good mama.
There's a mystery surrounding these happy and playful pups. They were discovered abandoned at Will Rogers Beach State Park on July 9th. The big question remains, where is their owner?
I fear that she's been abducted. I fear the worst and I hope for the best.
Paolo Moreno spotted the dogs outside the women's restroom in Lot 2 3 weeks ago around 10 p.m. at night while he was out walking his dogs.
And as I got midway through that first lot, 2 dogs started barking at me and my dogs loudly at about 10 p.m. I froze and I screamed, "Leash your dogs, leash your dogs."
He soon realized the dogs were all by themselves, and inside the women's room were a woman's belongings left in a stall.
I have video footage that there was a journal inside. There's a blanket, a little dog blanket outside. There's a $250 Shamumbi sunshade outside. There was a one-piece bathing suit in the bag. And what happened to the belongings that were not in the bag?
Moreno tells us that he and some women were told by a county beach maintenance worker that the dog's owner is a homeless woman and had been booted by police from the bathroom earlier that day.
He said to me, yes, the cops came and kicked her out.
But Moreno says he later learned from police that they did not clear any homeless people from the bathroom that Thursday.
I confirmed with SLO Espin that there had been no homeless person or woman arrested or removed from the beach.
The LAPD's missing persons unit is now looking into this matter. Meantime, Moreno is now fostering the dogs that are not microchipped. He's also posting flyers on social media, hoping someone will recognize these pets and come forward.
The dogs are indoor dogs. They're great in the house, they're great in the car, and they're extremely well behaved.
Threat hunting is proactive. It goes on the off.
Yeah, and he says that you can tell that they are well cared for, that they've been groomed, that their nails have been clipped. And so if you know anything about this woman or these animals, you are urged to contact police. And there is more information on a flyer that you can find on KTLA.com. For now, reporting live here in the Palisades, Mary Beth McDade. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Mary Beth, thank you. Police have arrested a man accused of sexually assaulting a woman as she walked home from the gym in the San Fernando Valley. The LAPD released these surveillance images of their suspect, now identified as 27-year-old Rodrigo Millar. Police say the attack happened in Valley Village near Laurel Canyon Boulevard. Investigators say Millar followed the woman and then grabbed her from behind and sexually assaulted her. Police say Millar relies on public transit, including local bus routes, as his primary means of transportation. And now investigators believe there might be additional victims or witnesses.
A deadly mass shooting at an Idaho In-N-Out is now hitting close to home. Police say 3 people were killed and one of the victims has a local connection.
KTLA's Lauren Lister has the latest details.
Terrifying moments caught on camera during a mass shooting Saturday that police continue to investigate today.
What's happening? Shoot.
59-year-old Christopher Claunch was among those tragically killed, according to his sister. She says he lived in Idaho for years but grew up in the Southern California community of Canyon Country, telling KTLA he was loved by everyone. At least 7 others were injured, including Terry Dudley, a taxi driver, shot while charging his Tesla. His son Michael saying his dad is hospitalized but expected to survive.
From what I heard from the doctor, he's like Extremely lucky.
Owner of In-N-Out, Lindsay Snyder, confirming on social media that one of the victims killed was an employee. Local media in Stockton identifying her as 23-year-old Ashley Garibay, a resident of Stockton who had gone to In-N-Out's new location in Idaho to train workers. Authorities say there were heroes in this tragedy, an off-duty state trooper and a private citizen who both fired back at the suspect.
We believe their actions helped drive the suspect away from the scene, preventing further casualties.
Authorities have identified the gunman as 24-year-old Chad Williams, dying of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Lauren Lister, KTLA 5 News.
Police are searching for the person who gunned down a man in the middle of a residential street in Van Nuys and left him there to die. The passing driver discovered the victim lying in the road and called 911, initially believing the man had been stabbed. First responders later confirmed the man had been shot to death. It is not clear exactly when the shooting happened. One neighbor says she heard what sounded like gunshots around 1 o'clock in the morning.
It woke my granddaughter and me up. I looked out the window. I couldn't see anything because beyond my husband's truck that's parked there, I couldn't see anything. There was nothing moving around, and I wasn't about to come back out here and check it out.
The victim remains unidentified, but police say among the clues, a toolbox found near the man's body. Detectives say it's too early to know if it has any connection to the case. Anyone with information is urged to call police.
Authorities calling it a calculated killing. New details now in last week's deadly kidnapping and shooting in Chino Hills. Prosecutors have charged the only surviving suspect with murder, saying he knew the plan from the start, even though he did not fire the deadly shot. KTLA's Shelby Nelson has more.
How can the passenger who gets out of the car be charged with murder? That's the concept and the theory of felony murder because of the kidnapping being inherently dangerous. We allege that Mr. Bowe knew exactly what the plan was when they went to the victim's home.
San Bernardino County District Attorney Jason Anderson announcing a murder charge for 66-year-old John Chuan Bowe. That's who authorities say is the man who exits the passenger seat here. Then his brother, 67-year-old Zhang Feng Bo, gets out of the driver's seat, ignoring deputies' commands before delivering an execution-style shooting to the victim, 60-year-old Ikabar Shakur, who was in the trunk of the vehicle and who authorities say they had just kidnapped from his home. Then deputies opened fire on Zhang Feng Bo, killing him. Deputies had initially responded to reports of a shooting at a home on Monteverde Drive before locating the vehicle a few miles away in this suburban Chino Hills neighborhood last Wednesday.
This was a calculated act of violence, and from the onset, deputies and detectives approached this investigation with urgency, precision, and determination.
At a press conference, Sheriff Shannon Dicus says at the time his deputies were unaware that someone was in the trunk and were focused on the passenger who was acting erratically. The DA also alleging special circumstances against the remaining suspect.
That the murder was committed in the commission of a kidnapping, which makes it potentially a special circumstance capital case.
How did this man deserve to die like that?
Shakur's daughter spoke to us just 2 days after her father was killed. She still has no idea why anyone would do this. While authorities say the suspect and victim knew each other through a prior working relationship, public records show the two were business associates. Zhang Feng Bo listed as the chief executive officer for an investment company called Panchi Inc. Shakur was listed as the secretary. And even though Shakur's name is not listed on this complaint, court documents out of LA County show a glimpse of a legal battle. And at the center of it, a Pasadena apartment complex. We spoke to Zhang Feng Bo's attorney, who tells us he was shocked to hear about last week's incident. He also said it was hard to define the relationship between the victim and suspect based on his observations. Shelby Nelson, KTLA 5 News.
Chaos in Venice last night after a woman led police on a wild pursuit after she drove right onto the Venice pier. Police were called to the area just before 10 o'clock last night after the driver clipped a cyclist. She then nearly ran over a number of bystanders as she drove up and down the Venice Pier before driving into police cruisers. That's when she led police on a short pursuit before being apprehended near Pacific Avenue. She is facing charges of assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer.
Vera has the night off, but Haley Winslow is in the Weather Center. She's got the first look at the forecast tonight. Hi, Haley.
Hi, yes, it's really nice to be here. It's been a beautiful night outside. We are a little bit cooler than we saw yesterday. We're going to continue to be cooler than we saw last week, but temperatures are still in extreme heat warnings for much of our area. That's including northern Ventura Mountains and the desert, as well as the Antelope Valley. Taking a look at our current temperatures right now, as soon as we can get this thing in motion. I don't know what this area of high pressure is going to continue to dominate our forecast. It is going to weaken, though, and as it weakens, we will continue to see temperatures above normal from 5 to 10 degrees above where we should be this time of year. But by the time we get into next week, we're going to be near our normal highs, and then even below normal as well getting into early next week. That's a look at your extreme. This is what I was trying to get to, our extreme heat warning, and I'll detail that coming up in your full weather forecast. Bear with me.
We will, Haley. Thank you. Investigators in Spokane have arrested a man they believe intentionally started one of the wildfires burning across eastern Washington. Authorities say 37-year-old Aaron Farinacci is charged with first-degree arson in connection with the Old Trails fire. That one broke out Friday near Airway Heights. The Old Trails fire is the most destructive of those three fires, having burned 640 structures since it ignited on Saturday. The majority of evacuations in the Spokane area are due to this fire. More than 60,000 people have been displaced, and CAL FIRE strike teams from San Bernardino and Riverside counties are deploying to Washington state to help with that firefight. No injuries and no deaths reported.
The LA City Councilman Anithya Raman got another endorsement today in her bid to unseat Karen Bass as Los Angeles mayor. The Western States Regional Council of Carpenters has given Raman their hammer of approval today. The Carpenters Union's endorsement aligns with one of Raman's top campaign issues, affordable housing.
More homes mean more work. More work means more union jobs, and more union jobs mean more Angelenos earning good wages, supporting their families, building a secure future. The old way of doing things here in Los Angeles is not working. We need to cut the red tape. We need to train thousands of workers. We need to get shovels in the ground. Because the people who build Los Angeles should be able to afford to live in Los Angeles.
Despite the endorsement, Mayor Bass has outraised Raman in the first reporting period of the general election. Bass took in over $510,000, while Raman received just over $170,000. Both candidates also received publicly funded matching funds from the city, bringing each's total to around $1.1 million and $750,000, respectively.
There is disturbing video that shows what appears to be worm-like creatures in the drinking water taken from the Adelanto Detention Center. This is just one of the many complaints about the conditions at that immigration detention center, according to immigration rights attorneys who represent people held inside.
Carlos Saucedo live in Hollywood with reaction from the detainee's lawyer and the Department of Homeland Security. Carlos.
Yeah, well, at this point, we don't know exactly what was found in that water. It looks to be disgusting, but it is raising valid concerns. Denied immigration attorneys tell me that it's all part of an ongoing pattern of unsanitary conditions that are found at Adelanto.
The video is a bit grainy, but you can see there's something in that bottled water that's not supposed to be swimming in the bottom. The video was taken last Thursday as Carlitos Ricardo Parias was speaking with his family from the Adelanto Immigration Detention Center, where he's been housed since late last year.
That's when we saw worms inside the water. And
Ulises Parias recorded part of the conversation with his dad as he showed them a sample of what the federal government is allegedly providing detainees to drink. Parias claims the water was taken from jugs that are brought into the facility for drinking purposes.
From what he has told me, the water smells weird. It almost smells like a metallic smell.
Bye. You may remember Carlitos Parias, a popular TikTok live streamer. The 44-year-old was arrested last October, accused of assaulting a federal officer with his own vehicle when he was blocked in during an immigration enforcement operation. The case was ultimately thrown out, but Parias remains in custody, pending removal to his home country of Mexico. The ice processing center has been mired in controversy over unsanitary conditions. Last month, a federal court judge issued an order mandating clean drinking water for detainees around the clock, in addition to nutritious meals and daily sanitation.
There have been many complaints for months about the water having a foul smell, that it tastes wrong, that it's got garbage floating in it.
Margaret Hellerstein is Carlitos' immigration attorney and calls the conditions deplorable.
It should not be difficult to get clean water from an outside source.
An ICE spokesperson tells KTLA, quote, ICE's Adelanto detention facility gets its water from the city of Adelanto, and it is the same water used by residents and businesses in the area. Adelanto's water service website says that before water reaches our facility, samples from wells and 36 individual locations throughout the city have been collected and tested in state-certificated third-party laboratories.
And immigration attorneys say that the video evidence should speak for itself and say the agency should abide by the federal judge's ruling. Reporting live tonight in Hollywood, Carlos Salcedo, KTLA 5 News.
Carlos, thank you. The path to confirmation is clearing for President Trump's pick to lead the Justice Department. Two key Republican senators, John Cornyn and Thom Tillis, now say they will vote to advance Todd Blanche's nomination for Attorney General. They've been holding out over a nearly $1.8 billion Justice Department fund. Critics said the fund looked like political payback meant to compensate people who claimed they were unfairly prosecuted. But Blanche formally shut it down this week, clearing the way for a full Senate vote. President Trump will visit Southern California tomorrow. The president expected to headline a Republican National Committee dinner at the Trump National Golf Club in Rancho Palos Verdes and tout his economic agenda. A White House spokesperson posted on X that Trump plans to draw a sharp contrast between his agenda and that of Governor Newsom. The president then will travel to Nevada on Wednesday.
Still here ahead on the news at 10, a growing health crisis.
Thousands sickened, hundreds hospitalized, now 2 deaths. But we are learning about the first fatalities in the widening cyclospora outbreak.
Plus, a chain reaction disaster. A routine traffic stop nearly turns tragic as a suspected distracted driver slams into another car. And Rick joins us.
Hi, everybody. We're in Malibu tonight, where erosion has shut down access to the Point Dume parking lot. And that's creating a lot of congestion on the road leading up to the beach. And unfortunately, it's going to be like that for a while. We'll have the very latest coming up at the bottom of the hour.
We have got to the point.
War is like a box of bombs. You never know what you're going to get next. And you wake up in the morning to footage like this practically every single day. Check this out. There's a Iranian drone over Kuwait. President Trump said, you better not fire any more drones. Over Kuwait. Well, lots of drones fired last night at Kuwaiti infrastructure. Here you can see the interceptor. You can see the interceptor take it out, and then also how deadly, and how explosive laden those drones are as it just like incinerates in air. And they are attempting to attack the U.S. air bases and army bases in Kuwait and the surrounding support structures. They've already successfully been able to attack those bases in Iraq. And this was, of course, in Iraq, this is what it looks like when you're blowing up massive amounts of energy. And that is what President Trump promises to do. Donald Trump has clearly had enough after his press conference yesterday saying, I am sick of dealing with the Iranians. Trump orders more strikes on Iran after losing faith. Donald Trump now wishes to strike the fatal blow that ends Iran. And they keep prodding and they keep poking and they keep pricking at the U.S. president. And Donald Trump is now weighing a round of intense strikes on the energy targets in Iran that will send the nation back to the Stone Age. Trump is considering Iranian energy targets within days. This would be intended to cause such catastrophic damage that effectively you create a inoperable country, right? President Trump is seriously considering launching attacks on Iran's energy power plants. New U.S. bombing campaign against Iran. Energy infrastructure targets would be aimed at trying to get the Iranians to agree to U.S. terms in an ongoing ceasefire. So the pain before the peace. It's typically how war goes, actually. It's not shocking. This is how it always goes, in fact. The strikes could also involve Israeli military for the first time in weeks. Iranian escalation. The Wall Street Journal first reported this at the start of Friday's cabinet meeting. Trump said, well, we'll be hitting them very hard. At some point, they're just going to say we can't take it anymore. Allegedly, Donald Trump is now planning on taking out all of the power plants. It's been very aggressive. Some officials were stunned at how much the Iranians were willing to escalate. After the surprise missile attack on the U.S. base in Jordan, Iran launched additional attacks on U.S. forces in the region. Iranians also attacked some commercial ships on the Strait of Hormuz on Thursday. That's after President Trump declared that if you did that, you would lose all your power plants. Donald Trump threatened to take out all of the power plants. President Trump has ordered a fresh U.S. military attacks on Iran, forcing them to surrender. This would be the point, according to the Wall Street Journal.
Cabinet meeting from Camp David today, where the president talked about the Iran conflict and touted his administration's openness. Senior foreign policy correspondent Jillian Turner starts us off live tonight from the North Lawn of the White House.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump says all they do is make me angry. They break their word so often.
They say talks aren't happening.
Very good people. We have the best people, but they'll make a deal. As an example, we'll talk about nuclear, and we'll be in there talking about nuclear for 7 hours. I say, why do you need 7? You can take 10 minutes. You have 5 minutes. You should solve it. But 7 hours, and then they'll go out, and I'll say they discussed nuclear, and they'll go out and they'll say we never discussed nuclear, and I say why did they say that?
Not great people. President Trump, it'll take them many years to rebuild if I go back and finish up the job. So what would that look like? Well, Donald Trump said 9 days ago that if you strike another ship in the Strait of Hormuz, then we're going to take out all of your power plants, one bridge or one power plant. Now, Tehran's airport has cleared out all of their civilian planes as they brace for U.S. attacks. Civilian aircraft were all evacuated from Tehran. Trump ordering fresh attacks. CBS reporting that they are planning on bombing the power plants and refineries as soon as this weekend. American refueling tankers have already launched out of Tel Aviv and are holding over the Gulf, standard preparation before large strikes. High-level U.S. discussions this week covered cutting electricity across Tehran. No decision was reached. I mean, if you are able to end the electricity, I mean, again, you are effectively putting it back into the Stone Age. So this is what President Trump has ordered. The details include the attack would begin this weekend. It would last a few days. The Iranians have been crazy. All energy assets would be wiped off the map. The war in Iran is now entering its 6th month. Now, Iran announces that it will strike the world's most important energy facilities located in Arab countries and Israel, all within range of Iran's precision missiles, if the U.S. takes out their power plants. So this includes the oil fields in Saudi Arabia, other oil fields in Saudi, so they've announced their targets, oil refineries in the UAE, gas fields, oil fields. So, I mean, you know, they're terrorists. They're going to do terrorist things, right? Multiple major news outlets are reporting that Trump is now actively weighing a major escalation to decapitate Iran. Guess we'll see. This would be a notable shift, or is just saber rattling, right? We've seen this before. Iran's power plants and refineries may be next on the target list. CBS source says the U.S. and Israel is preparing strikes on Iranian energy infrastructure. We've already blown up with precision an enormous amount of infrastructure, including Iranian bridges. And you can see here on this map exactly how busy our armed forces would be. And I think, how scared Iran should be, quite frankly. You have natural gas field, oil field, LNG pipeline hub. The entire country is like a sitting petrol bomb. And they're sitting
nearly hard enough.
I mean, again, like the question, I suppose, is who can manage the most pain and who can manage the most attrition. This is every single war. But
You're right.
with Iran, you have no defenses. So it's just an ancient civilization that's just willing to crawl back into a cave, right? And that's the problem with fighting people like this. This has been the issue. And, you can bomb them all back into the Stone Age, but then what are you going to be left with? Is it really going to matter? Are you going to end their leadership? Tehran, well, I mean, what do you got here? You got a country that can't shoot down any American missiles, can't take down American planes, can't defend their own borders, can't defend their own airspace, can't prevent us from bombing anything in their country. They have no air force. They have nothing. But they can launch belligerent missiles at their neighbors that they've hidden and stashed away in the mountains. That's about all they can do. So they can just engage as a terrorist regime. That's about it. And that's what they plan on doing. So senior Iranian official officer says, we have prepared a comprehensive plan to respond, which includes critical infrastructure of the Israeli regime and U.S. energy infrastructure in the region. We are going to implement it. So there you go. President Trump's ordered a fresh attack aimed at getting Tehran to surrender that will begin this weekend, cutting off all electricity in Tehran, including for civilians.
Flex isn't trying to be like every other ECAT tool. They're trying to build something completely new.
Every day I have.
So Iran would strike back and everything would escalate exponentially. CENTCOM is war posting again, right? And Iran keeps being belligerent, sending ships back. So then what will we get? I don't know. What are we going to get? These guys look pissed.
We know exactly where you are.
Okay, he's going in. That's a flock camera. The deflocking process has begun. An AI-powered camera that captures and logs every car that drives past it. And there's over 100,000 of them all over America. Okay, it is blinking red. Deflocked.
Do you think the deflockers will be flocked?
100%.
So flock around and find out?
Yep.
Yep. While these cameras are innocently sold as a tool to help find stolen vehicles, in reality, it's a rapidly growing network feeding one database, searchable by virtually any police department paying for access. For any reason, they could keyboard jam into a text box.
Thoughts on this flock camera being outside your home?
And not everyone is happy to see these cameras plastered all over America.
Law enforcement agencies across the country use AI-powered cameras to scan billions of vehicles each month, often without drivers even knowing they're being recorded.
Milwaukee police officer is accused of using flock safety cameras to search for a lover's location.
These drone video shows officers approach him in the driveway and handcuff him in seconds. But they had the wrong man.
A 6-year-old was forced out of her car, down onto the pavement, and held at gunpoint, all because an AI-powered camera misread a license plate.
Sergeant Jamie Milliam came to my door, accused me of a $25 package theft.
You know we have cameras in that town and you can't get a breath of fresh air in or out of that place without us knowing, correct?
Okay.
This should scare every single person.
The American people are not someone who can be controlled.
It's called flock for a reason, because they treat us like animals.
But do these cameras prevent crime, solve crime, or just
like
record?
birds?
Can police departments be trusted with access to a growing network of over 100,000
It's a lot of birds of a feather flock together. That's Kamala Harris for you folks.
Make mistakes that put innocent people's lives at risk. Who's responsible when they do? And what exactly are we sacrificing our privacy for?
Entertainment.
While I investigated, I hired a private investigator to ensure the Flock CEO, Garrett Langley, wasn't committing any crime or cheating on his wife. Surely he won't mind sacrificing some privacy in the interest of public safety if he has nothing to hide.
I want eyes on him. Every move, every plate number, every address, every breath. 4K. See how you like being spied on, Garrett.
While the private investigator I hired is surveilling the CEO of Flock, let's go to the Flock capital of America, Houston, Texas, and see how they feel about these cameras all over their city.
Have you seen like these cameras everywhere tracking her?
I didn't notice that. Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Oh, you didn't even notice that? I was asking folks if they want more cameras or less cameras out here in Houston.
Less.
Less? Way less?
Less.
Less? Yeah.
It'll be more.
More?
More cameras.
More. Probably.
I'm with the more crowd.
And why?
Because I feel like if we have a record of everything, then there will be less, allegations going on.
Okay. Más cámaras? Would you prefer there are more cameras in the area? Yep.
Less cameras, they don't help for anything, bro. That red light, I be passing.
Not even aliens?
So I don't want no cameras.
You don't want any cameras?
I mean, more cameras.
More cameras like this?
Yes.
More cameras.
I would probably say less, my personal opinion.
I would say less. I mean, I see a lot of them up already, man.
We don't need any more.
I've seen them on the news. I'm like, I don't really care. Again, I don't think the amount matters. It's just what they're using it for, who's using it.
Do they make you feel safer or unsafe?
Unsafe.
It's debatable.
More safe.
Safe.
It could depend if they're actually going to do something, with all the stuff that goes on in town.
I'm dying a lot. I can't even get past these guys.
I'm being stalked, bro.
You feel you're being stalked?
Yeah.
He's paranoid.
Yes. Finding somebody, yes. Abductions, yes. But like for traffic stops and tickets, then no.
Depending on
connected towards, what if they're connected to some cop beating his meat looking at a photo of you?
Oh, definitely no. That's a question.
Hey, don't be scared.
Oh no.
Monday.com makes agents clear, easy, and user-friendly. First of all, they're going to make our jobs much easier, and they're going to take us to the next level. Whether you're a project manager, HR, or IT.
Goes down, do these cameras stop going down?
Not at all. You hardly even see police out here stopping stuff.
Okay.
Let's say.
Yeah, you feel you're being stalked?
Yeah. Privacy is being invaded.
I think it would be less safe because it's kind of invasion.
An invasion of your privacy?
Yeah. I mean,
what about the invasions happening everywhere else? What is happening?
Anyway, so.
What are we doing?
Watched all the time. No.
I think there are two sides to it, like obviously there
are
cases where it can't help, and I think that those are good, but of course you have willingly letting the government kind of keep track of us. So
it's not just the government.
Just willingly giving in and letting the government, you know what I mean?
It's like the Hubble telescope. We can all use it.
They just, whether they spy on us or not, at least before we didn't know.
This is the long line.
Like it's in our face.
Literally in your face.
Exactly. Yeah. So I kind of have mixed opinions about it.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna use it the right way, yeah, sure, go ahead.
And do you feel like your privacy is being invaded at all?
No. Okay. Privacy is a human right, and I don't think whether I have something to hide or not. I don't have anything to hide, but when I close the curtains in my house, I don't have anything to hide. I just want, I want
you're
privacy.
Private at home.
Same.
Honestly, no. I think if you're in public, man,
yeah,
anywhere, everyone's a streamer now. Everyone's walking around with cameras.
Yeah,
it's happening everywhere.
What's the deal? What's the problem? What you trying to hide?
Seriously, crime is going to happen no matter what. I mean, I don't give what kind of security systems you have, it's still going to happen.
Talk to the locals.
Yeah, well, who cares? Let's let it happen then, and maybe it'll prevent more.
If they're using them properly and actually we're stopping crimes and I could see some metrics where, crimes are being stopped, then maybe. I could maybe say, yep.
Given that Flock cameras were all over the city, the answer is surely supported by data and hard-hitting facts, right?
No,
right here,
doesn't mean that.
Okay,
right so it's like,
camera right there,
it's another thing. Or I can't pause it, but it's like, why would an investigator give you information about how many things that those things have used to put people behind bars? Why would they give you a metric?
Are we any better than China?
They're not obligated.
We got 2 Flock cameras.
It's like that thing where it's like national security, but it's state security.
Okay, would you want more of your tax dollars going towards these cameras? In order to truly answer the question and see whether people...
That dude was just saying that to get him out of his face.
...to feel safe. notorious criminal defense lawyer in Houston to see how these cameras are being used in court.
You work with some of the most violent criminals in Houston.
Allegedly.
Since the introduction of flock cameras, have you seen a noticeable reduction in violent crime?
No, I have not. I've seen actually more people come into my office, and it's great for business. I've been seeing that there's an allegation of like a murder that would happen, and they would say that the getaway driver or the defendant was in that vehicle, and that vehicle was going up 45 highway. From 45 highway, it goes to I-10, pretty much just following it and just putting the pieces together to say that this is the person that committed that murder. It's just another tool that they use to try to show that there's a higher chance that my client's the one who committed that crime. I've seen them use it a lot. It's another tool that they have along with DNA. It's another tool they have along with surveillance videos from private entities like people's houses.
Is it helping prosecute your clients more often or less often?
I mean, it can provide damaging evidence in some cases. They definitely haven't made it harder. If anything, they have helped our cases. Personally, I don't like the invasion of privacy, and I think they should go away.
It makes it easier when there's footage that I can use, and that's in any aspect of the law, right? It makes that footage also can make it harder when people are trying to hide footage, right? But it depends on who you're representing.
Okay.
So.
We'll be watching some footage later, and if we didn't have body cams of this dude would be completely screwed, so I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Ultimately, I think if the focus is the safety of an individual and it doesn't spiral, then that's great. The problem is we're humans. Things spiral.
But the problem is, there is no independent peer-reviewed study showing that flock reduces crime. The strongest research saying flock solves crime is a white paper written by flock using flock's own data. And in their own paper, flock admits that the core question of whether these crimes otherwise would have remained unsolved in the first place was never tested. And that question, in their own words, is unlikely
Wow,
to be
it's
solved
like
at scale
completely
via
pinged out. I
quantitative
can't even move.
analysis.
I'm just gonna
Translation,
reset.
the proof doesn't exist. And by their own
I've been throwing a
account,
grenade
it
this
may
whole time.
never. The strongest independent evidence
What the
for
hell?
ALPR technology closing cases is a 2019
Okay.
study of a different company's cameras, which found clearance gains for auto theft and robbery that were not statistically significant once researchers controlled for other factors. The authors themselves said further assessment was needed. That's it. That's the evidence selling an estimated 100,000 plus cameras.
Damn.
In fact, in the same year's flock cameras went up across Houston, HPD was found to have suspended more than 264,000 case reports under a code meaning they lacked the personnel to investigate them, meaning the city was pouring money into technology to detect crime while lacking the manpower to investigate it. Yup, Houston spent $6.39 million over 4 years on these cameras, with $3.94 million of it coming out of the general fund, the same fund that pays the investigators to solve the crimes that were left suspended.
Do you think there will be a world in which technology like Flock in the future puts you out of business entirely? That there is so much evidence collected with sensory technology, in which the case is perfectly built in 4K, the jury just has to watch it and they can see the whole story unfold?
No, it's not.
Why
No, it's
not?
not, because everything's still dependent on arguments. There are other defense attorneys, I'm not going to name them, but some of them would just look at the overwhelming evidence and say, you know what, dude, you might as well take a plea because we're going to lose, which I don't do that. I think differently than other defense attorneys out there, and that's what they like about me. So I'm looking for more trials to go to that can include murder, raping, theft.
Yo,
Look, this is the
there's too
easiest
many
consent
ads.
banner I have ever
This
set
is an
up on
11-minute long
You're
ad.
talking under 10 minutes, no code, and it's free for small businesses. It's called CookieBot by Usercentrics, and it is used on
Yeah, the sound cut. 1 second. I think it has something to do with my computer's not grounded, so like any type of static spark to the mother, it just shuts the drive down. I don't know. I'm just coming up with stuff. I'd really like to know if that's what it is. It is almost 3, but I've been sleeping well napped today. Big debut.
And accusing innocent people of crimes they didn't commit. Let me introduce you to Robert.
Robert, what happened on the day of May 3rd?
On the day of May 3rd, I was on an extended work trip, 10 days to be specific, up in Jacksonville. And I was going over some of the work of the previous properties that we had finished, making sure that they were done correctly. And I did find some errors, and so I hop out of my vehicle, and I noticed there's a police car behind me. Maybe he thought I was trespassing, I don't know. So I approached thinking maybe I'll clarify, make sure everything's okay. And I go to the back of my vehicle. I was going to get my equipment as well as I walked up. I got to the back of our work truck, put a single hand on the vehicle when Deputy Anthony stepped out of his vehicle, gun drawn. He had his Glock drawn. He had good trigger discipline. It was pointed to the ground. It wasn't pointed directly at me, and that put me at ease a little bit. And I just wasn't sure what was going on. So I went into full compliance mode. Whatever he asked is what I gave. I'm not going to sit there and argue with a deputy, let alone one with a gun drawn. Takes me to the back of his patrol car, places me in the back seat. I notice several other deputies have now shown up. 2 female officers and 2 additional male officers arrive at the scene, and I don't really know what's going on. No one has spoken to me at this point, and I'm just waiting patiently for them to clear the vehicle and confirm that I am alone. And after, I'd say, 10-minute period, maybe 15 max, Deputy Anthony steps back into the car with me and asks me, or first he reads me my Miranda rights and says, do you want to waive your right to remain silent? I say yes, and I ask if I'm currently under arrest. And he says, no, you're currently detained. I ask, what is going on? And he says that the car has been reported stolen. And I said, well, I'm sure that's just a clerical error. I'm sure you guys will get this figured out. He says, okay. He gets out. That he has some discussion with the surrounding deputies. He gets back in the car and asks me more questions about the car. And he says something's just not making sense, and he's on his computer, and he's working through his computer, when finally he shows me his computer. He's like, you know what, just take a look. This is where we're at and what is going on. He says,
did he show you?
He showed me his computer. What exactly I'm looking at, I don't know. I'm not familiar with their systems or what they use or what programs they use. But he said, see right here where your name is green or your license plate is green. I don't know which one it was. A few minutes ago it was red. And to which I replied, like, oh, it's updating in real time. Like, what is this? And he says, well, the system flagged you as someone who has stolen this vehicle. And now it's saying that your vehicle has not been stolen.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want, and watch it take.
And Robert Robert's not the only one victimized by this technology's margin of error, combined with police rushing to judgment.
Well, hi there. Doing so good it should be illegal. Is Chrisana available?
She is. She's taking a nap right now. See if she can come out really quick.
Yeah, that's fine. Hi there, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Chrisana, my name is Sergeant Jamie Milliman with the Calumet Valley Police Department.
Okay.
You know why I'm here?
No.
Okay. You drive through the town of Beaumar quite often?
Nope.
You don't?
No, I work from home.
Okay. You know we have cameras in that town and you can't get a breath of fresh air in or out of that place without us knowing, correct?
Okay.
Okay. You say you don't drive there, but you've been driven through about 20 times this month?
Probably my husband or I.
Okay. But this is you, right?
Both of us, yes. We
Okay.
both drive the same vehicle.
Okay. So you have you're gonna stand by, you don't know why I'm here.
No.
Okay. Okay. There was a theft of a package from 5245 Ridge Trail on Tuesday. Like I said, we have cameras everywhere in that town. You can't get a breath
This is
of fresh
pretty
air
odd
in or
the
out
way that
without us
this
knowing.
goes on.
You
Like,
know the quality on the
it
camera
doesn't look
doorbell
like
you
that
have.
person.
I've got that on my phone right now of you taking that package.
My name is Chrisanna Elser, and on September 27th, 2025, Sergeant Jamie Milliam came to my door accusing me of a $25 package theft.
$25 package?
$25. I was trying to figure out what was he talking about.
And
Well, they got better things to do.
Well, he
I'll tell you
claimed he's
what,
done
they
an
got better things to
extensive
flock around with and find out.
investigation on it, and
that is
he basically
insane.
just showed me a picture of the truck going through the neighborhood,
And that was your truck?
and that was my truck, and that was the time I went through the neighborhood on
Flock.
Monday.
Bottom
he kept
right,
saying
flock.
Tuesday, which added further confusion because my husband, again, on vehicle has cameras, and my husband works at a
Just making sure
security
the ads
location,
don't-
and
like,
so he
I
said,
just
I
got
can
hit with,
prove
like,
that
3
you didn't have the truck
back-to-back
on
ads.
Tuesday, so you're way off.
I have you on camera.
Okay.
You taking a package and walking away. Is there any reason why you would have done that?
Nope.
Do you know anyone that lives on Ridge Trail?
No.
Okay, well then I'll make this easy. Since you're just gonna deny it, I'm gonna issue you a summons that you'll be showing up in court in Jefferson County.
Well, can I see this video?
If you go to court, you can. If you're gonna deny it, I'm not gonna extend you any courtesy. If you're gonna lie to me, I have you roughly 20 times this month alone. And here's when you left at 12:09. That's when you left town.
Wait a minute.
Take a package. Well, there's no shushing. I don't
Yes,
need to
there
be.
is. I need to know where this is. We have cameras on our truck, so we can show you exactly where we were.
I already know where you were.
Yeah.
I have it on camera. I have you on camera walking up, ringing the doorbell, taking the package, and literally running away. You on camera doing this. It is her. It is 100%. It is locked in. There is zero doubt. I know it's unbelievable to you. I get that. I get that this is a shock to you.
Well, he would not show me the picture of
think
me
you're taking up
accusing
too
me
much
taking
room.
the package on there, and so that would have really cleared, I think, a few things up. So that was a little concerning. And what was very much entertaining is that if he had done his proper due diligence at his own office, he probably would have saw that my truck was parked in front of the other flock camera the entire time. But we're assuming he had to see in the vehicle at some capacity to see that I looked like that individual, because he was providing nothing else to say, oh,
You
here I
could
see you
just
getting
tell
out
that
of the
person's,
truck,
like-
and here I see this person stealing.
Like,
He
not
didn't have any
even
of that. He strictly had,
close.
this is your vehicle, and
how long
then
has
this
that
looks like
been
you. Well,
investigating?
how did you put that
I
together?
mean, I guess I've
So
been
this
looking into
police officer is
genealogy
using
for a lot
flock
longer,
cameras
so
to argue
I would
you
understand
committed a
that.
crime.
But
You have all of your own cameras to prove that you didn't commit the crime.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch the Ring camera footage of the woman who actually stole the package, it is 1000%
Right.
not you. You can easily see that.
like the nose
Yes.
bridge,
Yet he still thinks it is
like that's like
100%
obvious.
you.
I'm sure he does. I mean, even
Like,
I
did
spent
that
2
person have plastic
weeks
surgery
reaching
overnight
out to
for a
the
$25
mayor,
package
the
theft?
town council,
Or is
the
it just the wrong person?
supervisor,
Like,
the
this is
chief
what I
of
mean, like, this
police,
is not
trying to
good.
get somebody to return my phone call, and we even went in person down there. And the town attorney came by, and he didn't want to hear from us either. And lo and behold, the very next day, he posted on the Neighbors app saying, "Can anybody give him more evidence? on
More
my truck in
info.
this
I
area?"
need more.
The officer posted it on the name.
Yes, you
Yep,
need
call
more
my Valley Police
intelligence.
Department.
It's
legal?
true. You
I
need
don't
more
know. I think he
common
was
sense.
collecting more
What
evidence
that guy
than
needs.
his job
Oh,
was
sorry, I
needed.
don't want him to get fired. Like, seriously,
I
like, you need to
said
figure that out.
We have evidence to provide you. He said, no, in court you can see the evidence I have when we go to
Okay,
court
well,
in 2
so you're
months.
speaking about figuring
you
out I
have
can't
to
even
appear for
walk
this.
because this game's
You're-
not registering.
Or anything now.
If you go to court, you may. Because you have not been honest with me, so I'm not going to extend you any courtesy of showing you a video when I don't need to. No, you cannot. I can show you. No, you're not being honest with me. If you
You're
guys
not
have a
being
good
honest with
afternoon.
me. So he's hiding evidence.
No, it was exactly.
Oh shit!
Nothing
Oh fuck! I hate that sword, guys.
It sounds like he's
That's not what I
flexing
wanted
that
to be
they've
looking at
constructed
when I
a
walked around that corner with no ammo.
They can see you at all times. They know your every action.
Just give me
How do you feel
something.
about that?
That's a little scary.
And he comes up and we have a short discussion. I'm like, how did this happen? And he said, there was something with our system, we had an issue with it. We shook hands. The deputies didn't actually leave, and I had to continue work at their location, within a few feet of them, in fact, into which I overheard them having a discussion about the issues they were having with the system and why this may have happened. And what the surrounding deputy that he was asking this to said, well, one possibility is on the license plate it used an O instead of a 0 and flagged it, or his name
That was
is similar to
anticlimactic for him.
the person we actually are looking for. I realized in that moment, oh, this isn't like a person had made a mistake. Their computer system had flagged me.
Anyway, I just want this solved. And then I spent the next 2 weeks, every single day I documented every time I called somebody to get somewhere to stop wasting everybody's time.
And why are you so concerned at this point?
Because it is, it's your reputation. I mean, I'm very fortunate. We've lived in our neighborhood for a while. I mean, we looked at our cameras. We saw quite a few of our neighbors go by. They, of course, seeing a police car in your neighborhood that doesn't normally see a police car, they probably were, what's going on there? Is it a domestic dispute or is something else going on? And thank gosh we'd lived here for a while, so we didn't have that stigma. But because that $25 package over the rest of my career, which I'm hoping would be a long one, thanks to heavens above, I have a great employer. My boss saw them. I reached right out to her. I said, hey, here's the situation. She said, yeah, I have to let my other people know, HR, all them. And she's like, I can't say what's going to happen, but I sent her all the evidence so that they could see it and be like, hey, it's very clearly not hers. This isn't just accusatory. And she said, I don't know if they're going to do, administrative leave or anything like that because we don't know. It's an open criminal case at the moment. And thank goodness everybody saw it and said, are you kidding me? That is not you.
Do you support flock cameras?
Clearly, I am very in favor of surveillance, privately owned. And I think anybody in this nation will sign a release saying, hey, we're looking for a lost child. Can we have all the digital evidence from this time to this time? Or we'll be like, here, take everything you want and everything you get. I don't care if it's surveilling you to find out. But the fact that they can just go around and start doing investigations and become so accusatory, they kind of made a bad stain.
Now,
I think the part that's killing me the most is hackers really don't give a rat's back end, right? They don't care. Take a look at one more ransom notice here. They tell them your data's stolen. Blue, in this case, is the threat actor. White is the victim. And they go and say, look, I need $200,000 so we can properly decrypt your data. Obviously, this victim says, look, hey, man, there is no way we can pay. They timed this incident. They knew this company specifically was getting ready to hit their busy season. And even though this victim tries to make the best plea of like humanity of, hey, look, this money we're about to make covers us for the rest of the year. We haven't made any of this money yet. I can't pay you. We're down to almost $0.
Now, when Flock isn't being used by police to accuse innocent people of committing crimes, it's sold as a tool to HOAs and police departments to recover stolen vehicles and help solve crime. But how is it actually being used by the federal agencies using them either indirectly
we'll give you
or
2 months
directly?
free, and I'm like,
Up
no.
with a DEA task force officer to understand
I'm
how
not feeling
federal
you guys
agencies
lately.
access Flock by
I'm not.
working
I'm really
together
not.
with
Like,
local
the whole
law
censorship
enforcement.
shit has been
How
like
long
too
have
much
you been aware
lately.
of Flock and ALPR cameras?
Several years now.
I'm not even fucking around too much.
Myself, over for. DEA's biggest use for flock cameras would be through the use of hot lists and tracking vehicles across the country. The DEA knows of a vehicle that might be used for narcotics trafficking or cash smuggling. Just like with any LPR camera, it can be tracked whenever it gets alerted and hits an LPR camera, just like it would be used by any other law enforcement agency. an example everyone can understand. A homicide occurred and a witness grabbed the license plate of the offending vehicle. That license plate can be put into hot list and flock, and every time that vehicle drives past the flock camera, the law enforcement can be alerted.
Throughout your experience,
You just
what is
poked
an
me.
approximate rate of error you've observed?
I would say probably around 5% maybe. It's not a perfect program, but it is up to the user to do their due diligence. It could interpret an E as an F. It could mistaken, numbers that look or vice versa. Also depending on the quality of the picture that it captured, because there's also different factors in play like weather, lighting conditions.
Is there a number count of how many police investigations have used flock in any capacity?
I would probably say 75 to 80%.
But things get a bit more sinister when you realize these aren't just license plates. They pulled the flock search logs from Wheaton, Illinois, a tiny 55,000 person suburb, and examined over 10,000 searches. The median search searched across more than 1,100 networks and nearly 16,500 cameras. That's right, a small town officer running a routine traffic infraction wasn't checking a local camera. Nope, they were querying a nationwide surveillance grid. 1 in 8 of those searches never even used the license plate at all. They just described the vehicle's characteristics. Like when an officer typed pickup Ram silver gray. That's not a plate reader. That's an AI-enabled search engine. And the only justification an officer needs to run a search is nothing at all. In Wheaton's logs, 89 searches ran with the reason field left blank. Flock is a massive surveillance network that runs entirely on the honor system. With great power comes great responsibility.
I didn't know this was happening until I was the victim of it. For example, we had to vote to legalize marijuana here in Florida, but there was no vote to legalize mass surveillance of people with AI cameras.
I think that's a great point. How helpful is Flock?
Very helpful. Typically, it does lead to positive outcomes for cases that we wouldn't be able to solve without Flock itself. Hopefully that's step of news that should be shared. I would say the biggest example recently is the shooting Austin had, the mass shooting, and then they were able to obviously capture the offender because of Flock. Flock obviously read the plate and led law enforcement in the right direction. And you basically reach out to anyone that has a Flock account, and then kind of get what you need and you ask for what you need. It's quite that simple. Yeah, as long as your home agency continues to purchase Flock and pay for it, we will have access to it.
And that's because you're a task force agent, right?
Yes.
Do you guys ever obtain Flock data without a warrant? Do you guys need a warrant to request information from Flock? How does that work?
Flock LPR cameras are faced towards public roadways and public highways. The Fourth Amendment doesn't apply on a public road, so there is no morgue needed.
It's because there is no reasonable expectation of privacy. Let me give you an example. Tyler walking out of his house wearing this. He doesn't have a reasonable expectation of privacy of keeping this item. However, if he has drugs in his pocket, he puts it in there, there's a reasonable expectation of privacy inside these pockets. There's a reasonable expectation of privacy inside of the trunk of his car. There's a reasonable expectation of privacy in certain places that you believe. And if there isn't, there's ways for me to show that there is a reasonable expectation of privacy.
My computer code is the best when it comes to support for veterans transitioning, just hands down.
The entrance to the control center is at the top of that pyramid structure. Bring me up there and I should be able to get us inside.
I joined the Air Force because I did not have a lot else to look forward to right out of high school. I was not a particularly bright student. So right out of high school, I took some time off, came to the decision to join the military, and from there I decided that...
I made a terrible decision. And if the cops get that evidence to show that, oh, well, this can lead to the murder, I'll say, I don't care about that. All I care about is, did you violate my client's rights? If you violate my client's rights, did not use
No warrant is needed for permissions. I'm seeing it from that private business because that is their private property.
So if someone is flogged on, let's say, your Flock account, can that be used as probable cause?
No.
No. So when we hear these stories of people using, let's say, a screenshot of Flock as their probable cause, and then sloppy policing,
So that's just circumstantial evidence. Putting a vehicle near the scene of a crime, in the ideal world, would help an investigation, but obviously that's only one part of it.
But the thing is, the Fourth Amendment exists because British officers could search any home they wanted without naming who they suspected or why. Oh, us Americans wrote a rule. Suspicion first, and then the search. Flock is built, records everyone, stores it, lets police decide later who they're interested in. The exact power the Fourth Amendment was written to take away. While law enforcement and some lawyers will tell you there's no expectation of privacy in public, and that under decades of Fourth Amendment precedent, a camera on a pole isn't searching you, it's just watching you.
You never think it's going to happen to you, you know? What are the odds that happens to one of approximately 400 million Americans just doing their job? You never think it's going to happen to you until it does. And since it did happen to me, the only perspective I can give is, like, if it's happening to me, it's happening to somebody else. Where there's one, there's two. Where there's two, there's more.
I'm just worried that it will just create this. We know exactly where you are every single moment. There's no ambiguity, which is great in the sense of crime, but not in the sense
I know what
of
people are
just
talking
life.
about.
Like if you're not feeling well and you call into work, is there now going to be a system where your work can call in and say, well, is she really not feeling well? Did she leave her house? Let me see the camera on her house. You know, oh, there she's getting in the car. She looks well enough to me, kind of thing. So now it becomes this whole kind of thing. I mean, same thing with any infidelity or anything. It'd be like, well, I'm going to a friend's house, and really you're going somewhere else. Or
Where is it?
People should have the right to
She's
cheat on their
trying to say,
spouses
where is the
without
tuna?
being spied on by Big Brother.
Where did
Exactly,
I smelt it?
Should the American
you
people
opened the
be
fridge for a
afraid of
second,
Flock?
and I smelt it.
No, I can't think of a
You
single
were
outcome
asleep.
why an everyday American citizen that obviously
You were
will use the
asleep.
police when they're a victim of a crime should be afraid of
You
a tool
were dead
that
asleep, and
is
now
just a
she's
tool for law enforcement to
completely
try to help
sphinxed out.
solve certain crimes that they might not be able to solve without Flock.
Yeah.
There are obviously bad apples, and there's been some examples of
Yeah.
misuse of Flock, but that is by the user, not by the program itself. This
Is it just
the
your
data that's
nose
being
playing
used
tricks
is
on you,
for
hon?
police agencies and law enforcement to
No.
help solve
It's
crimes
me,
for
it's
everyday
Daddy's
people.
playing
It's
tricks
not
on-
being sold to
on
Big
me,
Brothers
Daddy.
or anything
Daddy's
like
the
that.
one
You said the
doing
feds
the tricks.
do not have access
Daddy.
to Flock?
No.
They don't, not even
She's like,
indirectly?
where did it
Indirectly,
go?
I would say
It's not up
yes,
there.
obviously people
She's,
within
like,
the federal
sniffing,
government can
like,
have
the air
access
conditioner
to
'cause
it
it sucked
and
the
use it
smell up.
for the right
Sit down.
purposes. But most
I
recently,
gotta
there
get to
are
the
pilot
keyboard.
programs being
Sit.
run by Flock for
Good girl.
federal
Give me the
agencies
paw.
where they will
Good
have
girl.
direct access to Flock.
Well, I mean, look at the
Give me
the
the
movies
paws.
we grew
Give
up
me the
watching.
paws.
The books we
You
grew
gotta
up
give me the
reading, they
paws.
were
That's
all
the
based in
paws. I want
dystopian
all
governments
four.
who
Give me the other one.
could have started off as
Give me the other
benevolent,
ones.
but they're not always going to be the ones in charge. When there's a transfer
She
of
gets
power,
mad when I
maybe
try to
one
get her
day
back
there
one, so
won't
she's
be
sitting like that.
someone so benevolent
okay.
in control of such
No,
powerful
maybe not my back
technology.
too.
I would
Okay,
say
okay,
to
you
Flock,
grabbed the bag
there
too
is no
somehow.
real benefit to surveilling
can balance
the
really well.
American people. The American people are not
Honey,
someone
there's
who can be
How
controlled.
much room back there?
We are not someone you can surveil and tell
She
what to
smelt
do.
it. Now she's
We
never
are
give
a
up.
rebellious
Sit down.
people.
To no one's surprise, as more and
Honey.
more Americans
That's that
begin to
Alaskan-
notice these cameras, more
or
and
that
more
Siberian
people want
husky.
them gone from their communities.
Trying one
I
thing
showed
to
up
fish.
to a Flock
I
Flock
can't blame her.
protest in Florida, with local Floridians fighting for a Flock-free future. But real quick, I'm on the road for most of the year, whether it's villages in India, islands in Indonesia, or rural America.
If it's one
2
thing I
hours
hate
away from
is if
anything.
the gun
No urgent care,
that this
no
is not
pharmacy,
shooting as
nobody
fast
coming to
because
help.
the
So
game's
I picked up a medical emergency kit from
So I'm having
the
a problem
wellness
with that
company. Here's how
because
it works.
that's
You
my
fill out
build
an
is
online
this gun.
form, a licensed provider reviews it, and if it's appropriate for you, they prescribe you a set
And
of
it's just
medications
completely
that gets to
janky.
your door
Like, I
from a
cannot-
US pharmacy. The kit includes
I-
things like doctor-prescribed amoxicillin, generic Z-Pack, and more. Shelf-stable, labeled, and with
No,
a
she's
guidebook
staring at
explaining
it.
what
Look
each
at her
prescription
frame.
is. It's not a replacement for seeing a
This
doctor,
is where
and the
I'm
wellness
choosing.
company
This
says
is
that
I
themselves.
chose this,
It's what you
Hassan.
have when a doctor isn't
See, I
reachable.
chose
If you
this.
spend real time outside the reach of the healthcare system, then go check it out at urgentcarekit.com/Tyler using code Tyler to get $45 off. But make sure to talk to your doctor about
She
whether
was
it makes
asleep
sense
in the
for you.
house. I
Thanks
go in
to
there and make my
Wellness
dinner, and
Company.
it's like
Why are you
Husky
here?
wants to eat what the owner wants to eat.
Covenant Banshees. We can use them to fly straight to the control center.
Wow, they just didn't give a about me or my feelings. No F's given, bro. They didn't give no F's. And not to mention, is it gonna be one of those things where I have to like hold my computer? I do. I get like. I can't even get, because there would have been another ad. I saw the second one.
Not a big fan of flock.
You're here to block the flock?
Block the flock.
Okay, full on flock out?
Flock out, yeah.
Okay.
What happens to countries that provide you security over liberty?
Tell me.
Look at China, look at North Korea.
The government is increasingly surveilling on our private lives, and we should do our best to stop that.
And so one of the things.
Well, they got to figure out who the terrorists are, man. I'm sorry. You're the ones that wanted them to come over the border. Don't make their jobs harder.
Data centers are going to have to pave over more of Florida just to have either the data centers themselves that are going to monitor these cameras, they're going to spy each individual person, and then they're going to use that information to
Don't let anyone else touch
do whatever they can. Find you for crimes that aren't even crimes yet.
That's mine, bro.
You have nothing to hide. You have nothing to worry about. What are your thoughts on that?
I had nothing to hide during COVID, but they still arrested people for walking down the beach. So I don't trust the government. I think they're full of
I'm here to block the flock, just like everybody else.
Block the flock.
Also, helping
No. Why would you do any of the blocking of the flocky?
Respecting our health and privacy.
No.
We're fighting against it.
Do you think peaceful protest gets anything done?
Yeah, I think it's the way. If you don't listen to the people, they will eventually riot. You've seen it happen throughout history. But I think the right way is to ask questions and to hold our
It doesn't make it right.
accountable so that we can just get it done the right way first.
I'm here because I am respectfully protesting these flock cameras. I believe there are.
Oh! I don't know what to do! There's too many things! Hey, do it with the sword, put it down! Put the sword down!
Need to take a stand as a common people. Tell our local leaders sitting in these offices that more or less take a paycheck, get them out.
Gee, I know, right?
All you gotta do is just contact the HOA.
Tell me about that one, right? Because even the military had those fucking
Anybody
dumbasses.
can get in trouble for anything without even seeing what's actually going
You know what?
on. It's ridiculous.
I can't get both.
Straight up surveillance state.
Mr. Fishback, how are you?
The organizer of this event is running for governor of Florida. He says it would be very simple to get rid of these cameras.
Is his name fucking Fishback? Fucking. I'm done. His name is Fishback.
Why are they pointed on hiking
Oh
trails?
I
no.
think a lot of people think that they're simply just used to scan license
I'm like
plates,
completely lost
make
in
sure
the
that
sauce
right
with his
people
name,
are in
guys.
the right
Sorry.
places, but what it's been used for in the past, what it could be used for in the future is indicative of a surveillance state, and I definitely think it's something.
You know what? You're the one
matter what your intention
that wanted an invasion state, and now we gotta deal with both.
This right here now. Florida has always been
Why?
that beacon of liberty.
Why?
Country, we're the ones who show the entire nation that you can, in fact,
Why?
lock down and keep your state
Because
open.
we
How
have
do
no
get rid of
option. That's why.
She said, what's a flock? Can you answer that?
Flock Camera is a private company that's been licensed by the United States government to put cameras that go to AI databases on the back end to sift through data and spy on Americans.
You don't want people taking photos of you and your
You don't
kids as you
understand.
drive around Florida?
They're meant to not spy on Americans. They're meant to protect Americans. You all are being retarded with the fucking definitions.
You just never know. It's just way too much. Then you got this.
Oh, now we're gonna be doing too much. Like who's
never know what's
too
really
much?
going on and how that information, because obviously the art of the aliens or whatever you want to call it, are way smarter than us. Their things go like that. So what they have a way to tap in, then clone a person. I don't know.
Would you sacrifice
Wait, what
the
the fuck
privacy
did-
and freedom for a safer neighborhood?
We need
I
to
didn't even
tap
like
in
when
and
they
clone
said
a
that the TVs
person?
are watching you.
Is that
We don't
that's
trade
what
safety
the
for
fuck
freedom
we're
in
at?
America. I mean, it's as simple as that.
I'm so done, guys. I'm so we're
You go
cooked.
to the grocery store, everywhere you go.
We're cooked.
I mean, that is just insane.
Anastasia's over here saying
It's a
we're
violation
cooked.
of our Fourth Amendment right.
Father, we
vote
needed
to
to
block the flock?
get the tuna out and have a lunch break.
This is an
We're
abomination
not blocking the
to our
flocky.
founding fathers,
We're
to the
talking
United
with the
States
buckle.
Constitution, to the Bill of Rights,
Oh,
and
don't
most
hit that. Don't
specifically
hit
to
that.
the Fourth
She's got
Amendment.
claws. This
We
is soft.
will not be spied on. We will not be
Say something.
subject to unreasonable searches and seizures, and that is exactly
don't know what to say?
the flock surveillance state has become.
You're
Across
nervous?
Florida,
Oh,
there
don't
are
like that right now.
4,000
Not right
flock
now.
cameras. You can see them here. They're not just
You're
on
nervous.
roads. They're outside
You're
of
super
churches.
nervous. You
They're
just
as
went
walk
pee
into
before we
hiking
came in
trails,
here. You
next
don't
to
need to go
playgrounds,
pee. You
your
just
kids' elementary
went.
school or preschool. Ask yourself, why would the government need to know where you are at all times? There are two governments in the entire world that attempt to know where their civilians are at all times. Communist China and North Korea. And we aspire to be neither of those. Can you imagine what the pandemic would have looked like if Anthony Fauci and his minions could have logged on to a flock camera? Good news is, this problem is easy to solve. The flock cameras on this map here, they are funded with your taxpayer money. If elected the 47th governor of Florida, we will block flock cameras by the simple fact of preventing taxpayer money from going to flock cameras in your neighborhood, in your city, your county, on our highways, anywhere in the state. Florida's not China! Orlando's not Beijing! It's called flock for a reason, because they treat us like animals. That's what this is. Well, if you've got nothing to hide, what are we worried about? That's what tyrants say. That's what the communist leaders of Cuba and Venezuela say. That is what the communist leaders of North Korea and China say. Well, if we're going to go with that logic, if you got nothing wrong, you got nothing to hide, then what are you worried about? Then why don't we all just wear a wire? Ben Franklin
why don't we all just wear a wire?
Those who dare
With that one.
essential liberty for temporary safety.
I'm down, dude. Let's just do it now. Our phones have been fucking wired by NSA for 100 years, it seems.
License plate reader cameras
And people don't even care.
Mass surveillance, Palantir.
Not 100 years, clearly, but
data centers, Clearview AI.
it's
all
been
of it is part of this mass
backed up.
surveillance.
Like, people
By the way,
don't
it's
even
playing out in real
care.
time in places like China. We do not want a Chinese-style mass surveillance social credit system where if you say something that's anti-Semitic or politically incorrect, you get pulled off the grid. That's wrong, and that's unconstitutional in the United States.
Your opponents that are running for Florida governor, what are their stances on flock cameras?
Well, one of them, on a debate we had 2 weeks ago, one of them
The
said
grid?
that flock keeps us safe, and I couldn't disagree more.
You get
Does
pulled
it
off
keep
the
someone
grid.
safe when it's wrongly accusing people of committing crimes they never committed? Is flock a benefit to some crime? Of course, but it's whether it's a net benefit.
Can this technology be used to some degree?
Look, would I be opposed to a AI surveillance camera in our airports or at the border? No.
Yeah,
Because
why
those
not?
are high crime areas. You got trafficking, drugs,
course.
sex, child trafficking.
Duh.
And there's not really an expectation of privacy at an airport, so I
No.
wouldn't be opposed to it there.
No.
But when you're talking about on a rural hiking path outside of a church where people are going to and from with their families, schools, playgrounds, that's where flock cameras are today. And so I just don't see how you can justify that.
While flock defenders say if you have nothing to hide, then you have nothing to fear. Then why
Okay,
is
so
the
what I have to
CEO
say
of
is
Flock living behind-
you have to not be
wait, you
predictable.
still have bots
The
for
thing
your
is
calls.
what
Sometimes
you're
you
trying to
have
do
to.
when you're doing
No,
that
if
is
you're
to
gonna
not be
use an
predictable.
AI and
You're
you're
trying to
using
either
granola.
see
Wait,
if
what's
these people are
granola?
actually going
With
to
granola,
church,
you
right?
get all
You're
the
trying to
benefits
see
of a note taker, but it never
I mean,
actually
if
joins your
there's
call,
a
so you can
probation
just jot
service
down all
going
of
on,
your
right?
notes
And
and
they're
it'll
saying
add
that
them
they're
into
going
a
to
recap of
a
everything that
community
happened
waste
in the
station or
meeting.
something
Wait, are
that
you
gives
serious?
food out,
Yeah, let me
and
show
they're
you.
not
Yeah, but
going
it's
and doing
probably
that,
like
and
50 bucks
they
though.
have this
No, it's
illegal
like
thing, and they
literally
just
free.
buy food from wherever the fuck they want.
behind a gated fortress protected by security guards and changing the car he drives and the route he takes every day. Could it be possible that the very man who made his fortune surveilling every American doesn't like it when the camera points his
Dun dun dun.
Families, schools, playgrounds, that's where flock cameras are today. And so I just don't see how you can justify that.
While flock defenders say if you have nothing to hide, then you have nothing to
It's
fear.
about not being
Then why
predictable.
is the CEO of Flock living
don't want
behind
somebody
a
to think
gated
that
fortress
these cameras
protected
can only
by
be in a certain
security
area
guards
because
and
then crime
changing
will
the
spike
car he
outside those areas,
drives and the route
guaranteed.
he takes
I
every
want you to
day?
know
Could
that.
it be possible that the very man who
reason
made
that it
his
is the way it
fortune
is
surveilling
because it
every
has to be this
American
way.
doesn't
If it's
like
not-
it
if it
when
doesn't
the camera
come
points
to
his direction? Could it
this, this, as in if it's more predictable. People look at how they're attacking the Flock system now. If American citizens knew where they were, we knew people were shooting cameras out a long time ago. We didn't know who was doing it because you can shoot the camera out at a blind spot. It's not. It doesn't take 2 cents that God gave an idiot to know that. So I don't understand.
There is an ongoing
now you have to overwhelm
and you can see right here that
with the amount of cameras because people were actually taking out cameras, and I know that for even on a residential area, that happens. So like, why are we just sorry, I'm gonna say that. Just sat around the table.
Really amazing
why do we expect that to be different in a public area?
So that allows me to interface and
I don't expect it to be any different. I don't know why you guys are trying.
About this is a genius before me came and started developing his own detection capabilities for flock safety after this. His discoveries led that he was using, that Flock Safety is using Bluetooth in order to do so. And I came to figure out that this detection capability no longer worked in my area. And it ended up getting patched essentially. That means that the deflock movement of documenting these cameras momentarily stopped. And that's a really bad thing because that means that we lost all visibility and all confidence on, where these deployments are. So my discovery ended up being able to determine pretty quickly if they're not using Bluetooth anymore, the next bet is they're probably wireless. So that was the case.
Wireless meaning Wi-Fi?
Wireless meaning Wi-Fi. Okay. So I ended up decoding this signal that I saw emanating from these various different flock deployments, and I ended up using a little bit of transmissions magic and decoded some of the data that was in the air. I ended up finding flock safety signatures, and that led me to develop a actual new capability for detections that anybody can use. And I made that public and open source for anybody to have.
So I could go around with one of these, like a metal detector at a beach, and find a flock.
Exactly. You can put it in your car. You can have it beep whenever you're driving by a flock safety.
So without this breakthrough, there's no transparency as to where these cameras are?
Correct, yeah.
You just have to visually see them with
you get to visually see them and document them on deflock, which that's way more time consuming than anything. This also has a GPS module built into it, which means whenever you intercept and receive a flock safety detection, it's going to store the coordinates of where that flock safety detection was taken, and you can actually upload those results to deflock. Just like Google Maps, it'll put the camera directly where those coordinates are.
So the kids watching at home can go find their own flocks themselves.
Yes,
they go flock hunting. By hunting, I mean just looking at them from afar.
Correct. Correct, and being able to map them out and be able to identify them from a distance, just like we're doing right now. So if you slow down a little bit, there's going to be a flock directly to our right, and with my firmware running, we should be able to detect this pretty soon.
I think it's right there.
You can see that we just drove past that flock camera right there, and we were about 50 yards away from it, and we were able to reliably detect it.
So I literally got flocked for doing an illegal turn in a legal park. Soon enough, in a dystopian world, I might auto-get charged. My ticket in my digital wallet. Who knows? The implications are
your social credit score is going to go down.
No, it just went down because I'm a bad driver. I'm a asocial driver, illegally driving like a villain. Tell me about the infrared capabilities.
Yeah, so
I think that's fine, but I don't give a fuck anymore. People be doing this shit out of spite.
Access to be able to run at
it's
night.
not safe.
Using your phone, with this car passing by, you can actually see the IR sensor kick off
see the red
right
blink,
now.
blink, blink. So the vigilantes deflocking these cameras, they might climb up the pole, sniff the thing. If I was wearing a shiesty, could the IR camera identify my facial features?
There's been a bunch of debunked myths on whether or not IR can penetrate through.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet
Imagine
Base 44.
building your own blog ad shit.
Made for anyone with an idea and a drive to bring it to life.
Asks, and it's been actually proven that they can see with this type of material. So the IR, the invisible light, will actually go through the thin lining of that material, and it can actually determine your facial structure through skeletal development as well as muscular development. So whenever you go through TSA and everything like that, all of that data is retained for training purposes. And if you are actually like, somebody of interest,
We need to know where Osama bin Laden's hiding, okay? We found his hair from his laundry mat.
And they can look for that suspect.
We found Osama bin Laden through his laundry mat.
Is it
I want
likely
you to
that
know
my face is in a database
we will
somewhere?
find
Your
you.
face is everywhere, and that's how I think that they're gonna be able to catch some of these people that are destroying these
That has
cameras.
been happening
hunting the
for a
flocks will be
very
hunting
long
themselves.
time.
Exactly.
Using the very technology they're trying to destroy.
Yep.
Another
Do you
flock
realize
right
that
there
there's a
staring you
camera
down.
on you?
It's insulting.
How do you think
Not only
fucking
in a
Google
nice
Maps
neighborhood,
work?
It's outside somebody's house. Here's the detection.
How do you think
right
it
there.
works?
Beeping?
Yep, it's beeping.
Free
it's going off,
pictures.
so it is vandalized.
They take a picture
and
from
not
satellite. They
able to
drive a
actually
little
see through
van
the lens
around,
right
and
now.
the
You can
satellite
see that's
aims
still
at the
giving
van.
Signal, so it is still.
Who's
behind
ever
as
out
well.
gets the
So
picture taken,
whatever
and
you
no
spray
one's
paint,
suing
it might not
Google.
be able to see, but it is definitely still transmitting data.
I mean,
or at
what's
least
the
attempting to. So let's go check it out.
What do we have here? So we're in a pristine neighborhood right now.
Sure,
What
it's
do we
not
have?
2 for 2.
Right outside
But still.
somebody's front yard. They probably don't even know what that is.
It says
But
flock
the
camera, this one of many AI-enabled cameras tracking your vehicle everywhere it goes. Learn more at deflock.org. It's been hit.
It's been hit.
And it is
gold metallic spray paint. So you're gonna receive a notification right here, so you can actually see in the output it says one unique flock last hit 0 seconds ago, which means we just recorded it again. But if it's a fresh identification of one, it's gonna pop it up immediately.
Hello. Hi there. Do you live here? Yes. I wanted to ask if you had a minute to explain your thoughts on this flock camera being outside your home.
No, where? That camera?
That camera right there that's been vandalized. Do you know when that came to your neighborhood?
Not very long ago. Who put it up?
Flock, a privately owned company. Do you don't have any thoughts you want to share before we leave?
Yeah, I'd rather not have it on there, but
Yeah.
I don't know who to call and take it off.
She didn't even know this camera existed. She didn't know who put it up. She didn't even notice it get placed. Hey, f you too. Oh, whoops. You're a good guy. Swizz, we've seen these flock cameras everywhere. I want to ask you, are they in the business of data collection or security?
They're definitely in.
Oh, sorry, you don't understand. I got PTSD from overseas.
It's unfortunate because I really do feel like crime reduction technology could be a thing, and it doesn't have to be turned into a global massive surveillance project and program to spy on U.S.
my
citizens.
God,
So
what's the
the
big
fact that people that
deal?
we rely on for our safety and our protection are using this technology and abusing this technology against us is just something that I won't ever stand for.
Can anything be done to stop surveillance technology like Flock?
There are so many different people that are going to their city councils and they are just talking and raising awareness and doing things like that, filing FOIA requests, which are Freedom of Information Acts, to find out how these technologies are actually, ingesting data, how they're operating. That is the freedom that we have as American citizens, and we need to exercise our rights to be able to do so, use our voice, use our First Amendment to stop this stuff from being abused.
But does peacefully protesting and showing up to your town halls actually get results? What happens when Americans lose faith in the democratic process, their institutions, their elected officials, and believe their voice does not matter?
The meeting was overwhelmed when 150 people showed up opposed to using the cameras because of privacy concerns. In response, at an emergency press conference tonight, Mayor Carmela Mantello made a declaration of emergency for public safety to use city resources to fund the Flock contract.
We will not allow public safety to be used as a bargaining chip, and we will not cave to what is a vocal but small minority.
So I met up with No Mark, a vigilante self-proclaimed superhero in Minneapolis who has taken a more hands-on approach to deflock America.
If you manage a WordPress website and you haven't sorted out your cookie consent situation yet, this is the video to watch. Today, I'm going through CookieBot by UserCentrics. What it actually does, why it matters for your site, and whether it's worth setting.
So terrible.
Real quick. Sadly, YouTube won't let us show you some of our craziest footage.
Big bucket!
Third world streamer rages at me and cries.
Stop crime in Minneapolis, but I've also seen you interact with these Flock cameras.
I've been taking them down. I'm not a huge fan of these Flock cameras. I don't like how they're using them.
Now, I know your mission is to stop crime in Minneapolis. Flock claims their mission is the same thing. Why do you hate them so much?
I think the technology Flock has could be used for good, but the way people are using it right now is just not.
So destroy the
it's being used
equipment.
to stalk people
You're making no sense. You're not fighting the good fight. You're being a dipshit and you should be arrested. I don't understand this shit. This is a 0-point talking answer here. What the fuck is going on?
I started doing my research on them, started learning more.
Your research is whatever the fuck you get up your ass.
Doing what I can.
Do you know how much those things cost? You're being a fucking dipshit. And you're just endorsing crap that is completely unorthodox. It just is.
What is your goal in taking down
not something that should be in an echo chamber environment. It is completely
and,
out of the fucking loop. Like, this is not what normal American people are thinking. Normal people want to think that they're secure. They want to think that they have somebody's back. Like, if their car gets stolen, maybe they can hound Flock about getting their information out and they can fucking get shit fixed. They can't, because people like you are going out there and destroying cameras.
Sometimes
I mean,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Like, are you gonna go out there and hunt for every single fucking person?
There he is.
Wow, you scared the shit out of me. And
who are you?
This would be my partner, Crosswire.
To meet you, man. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm Crosswire. I'm partners with Nomark, essentially just helping out with what he does.
So he scouted out the D-Flock map and found 3 cameras nearby.
You know, I've had people, press me a little bit. He's kind of my bodyguard a little bit.
Okay. You can throw down Crosswire?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's all I needed to hear.
He's jacked, so I just...
Why do you wear the mask?
Protect my identity, and then more so protect the people in my life. I do a lot of things that, might piss some people off. I've had people arrested before, and if they know who I am, they can find my information.
And how often are you out here deflocking these flock cameras?
Right now, it's every night. Kind of been my main project right now. I use these little stickers, I throw it over the camera, and then I have a little tool in my bag that I just snip the back wire, and then that's it. That's all I do.
What are the maximum legal penalties for one to do something like this?
Honestly, it's kind of a gray area right now. Obviously, it's like vandalism. I don't know what the charges could be for that. I assume they'd probably charge you with something. Definitely, if you know anyone doing this, be wary.
Are these cameras essentially everywhere in Minnesota right now?
Minneapolis, St. Paul
Are
area
you fucking stupid?
There's a big, it's like the land
Dude,
of 10,000
if this is a federal fucking project,
smaller cities,
dude, you could be hit with some crazy federal charge, bro. Like, you have no idea that this is I can't even get to a talking point without the fucking ad coming on. And why? This is why people don't want to be on your fucking platform, bro.
Giant knowledge transfer project. Thousands of people suddenly need to know how to do brand new workflows. And this applies to every team. Finance, HR, IT, operations, support, everyone. With that knowledge...
To be honest, somebody should have to fucking listen.
What motivated you to start deflocking these cameras?
I just hate them.
5 minutes go by.
I hate what they're being used
you get
for.
another 10 minute,
all the
15,
time,
6 minute
every
ad,
day
you're not getting through your
story with
programming.
someone, usually a police officer using it to stalk people, usually women.
Stuck on
Human
ads.
use of the technology seems
What
to
are
be
you
leading to a lot
doing?
of crimes
What
in
the
and of
fuck
itself.
are you doing?
Why do you hate these flock cameras more than, let's say, a CCTV camera in front of a shop like that right there?
These flock cameras are all connected. They all go to the same database. They can be used to map out exactly everywhere you've been. Yeah, those cameras are just, it's usually just like one person, and it's for their building, making sure, they're staying safe. But these ones, I feel they're only used. This is a cop right here.
I'm just gonna do. Should we talk about this later?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Nomark rerouted our path to avoid police detection. I wanted to hear more about why Nomark hated these cameras so much and how he became a vigilante.
I saw Minneapolis last year. It was not a great year for Minneapolis. I just thought, someone should help. There was a shooting right by my house last year. That night, someone got shot right in the head, like right outside my house, and no police ever showed up or anything. It took them like way until they were gone to show up. The dude was like shot in the head, bleeding out, and there was no one there. No one called the cops. It was just awful. That's what inspired me originally. I was like, I might as well just go out and make sure that everyone's good and like make sure that there's no one like getting hurt out there. If someone was just there to help them, he could have got to the hospital. It could have been okay.
You're trying to fill that gap between what law enforcement can do or wants to do and what the people need?
Yeah, for sure.
Besides taking these cameras down, what other things do you do to help the people?
I get a lot of like requests. I get a lot of messages and emails. People got very like specific things they need help with.
Like, why didn't you
someone stole
call
my bike? Can you help me get it back? That's what I started doing. And then it got shifted towards there's this evil company and they're dumping toxic waste into the water.
I've never
so they're like, you go investigate
and
try to take them down.
Do you think we're headed towards some sort of surveillance state?
Yeah. I think these things are definitely paving that way for sure. Yeah, and I've also seen they're working on. They already have them. The drones. drones too as well. But yeah, no, I
Oh, so high tech. You know what? So are you gonna get mad if I show up on like your porch with like a drone motorcycle, bro? Are you gonna get mad at me, dog? Or what?
It gets so bad that there's nothing we
You're
can
gonna
do.
call me a hack?
And I want a good future for everyone. We're going down a
Oh my
dark hole
God.
right now a little bit. I think there's a lot of things that are, you see online a lot, it's a lot of negative stuff, but I think it can be positive.
You're saying if everyone took action on their actual beliefs, real change is possible.
Yes, for sure.
Where was the cop?
He was right there, but now he's gone, so I think we're chilling. So
No, he's watching you from his drone, right?
Come up around behind it so it doesn't catch us at all. I go from behind so they don't see me at all.
We're in a very nice neighborhood right now. What's going through your head?
I'm just hoping that no one sees me and thinks I'm like a burglar or something.
No Mark sees the flock camera. He's locking in mentally. You're about to witness something a lot of people I'm sure have dreamt of doing.
I have these gloves right here that help me climb these poles really easily.
Okay.
They're like football whatever gloves.
Okay.
Super easy to stick to this pole. Just climb up real quick. Oh shoot, it's a good time to go.
And what is your methodology? You put on the gloves, what happens next?
Put on gloves. I got this little tool I use to snip the wire. I don't know if it's actually what it's meant for, but it works.
Okay, it's a deflocking mechanism, and you're pulling out a sticker to block the lens?
First thing I do, it's really important, because even after the wire's cut, it will still record.
For how long?
I believe it's until the battery dies. The wire I'm cutting is for the solar panel that charges it, so it will stay alive for a little bit.
So your first step is to block the camera, and then you snip the wire?
Yep. So like I block it first, so I get in the off chance like I fall or something, I slip and my face gets in the camera.
Okay, he's going in. He's going in to deflock the camera. Do you think the deflockers will be
No, I do not condone this at all.
Find out.
Yep. I mean, I think
Negative.
it's honestly low IQ behavior.
It is
I think it's a trend.
so
I think people
bad.
Are doing it for fun to make
They
videos.
are trying to do it.
You know, if it's people's Hellcats and SR keys start getting stolen, they're
Yeah.
gonna come to cops and ask them to track the car.
Right.
And, you know, you cut these cameras
Cameras
down.
now, you can't do that. There would be no way.
Okay, he's deflocking the camera. The sticker is on. Okay, it is blinking
What, are
red.
you gonna go out there and do it? Are you gonna go and ask for every single person to go look at their security cameras every day to make sure a stolen car didn't drive by?
So these stickers
Like,
now
you're
obfuscating the
being
lens itself.
completely
You clear sight,
retarded.
The camera is no longer filming, and then look at this. The cable itself has been cut. The cable itself has been sliced.
Yeah, that camera's gonna eventually be put back up, and then now those people are gonna be a target of an investigation. Someone paid for that camera, and they're not gonna just let that happen. The duality aspect of this product is probably the worst. You know, placing a huge black pole on the corner of a park or on every few blocks of a residential quiet neighborhood that people walk their dogs with or drive by to work or school, you know, they're gonna notice these things one way or another, and they're gonna start asking questions.
That was extremely fast. Probably 5 seconds that happened.
Super quick, doesn't take long at all. It's over, that one's done for, they gotta go replace it.
How much do you think that'll cost?
Not enough, the company has infinite money, but I mean, cost some time, sends a message, it's the most important part.
You don't feel like a criminal, you feel like a hero.
I mean, it is a criminal thing to do, I guess, but I feel like it's what we need.
It's so you need to become a criminal.
We want change, and I want to fight for a better future.
And there's very well.
It's not fighting
maybe
the
a
good
code
fight.
red that goes in the camera. What happens next?
Not at all.
Is there that you think they're
You're
on high alert now?
completely brainwashed, sir.
The thing is, like, I've checked on the cameras I've already deflocked. They're still there. They're still broken. No one's done anything. So I don't know what I don't know if it sends an alert. I gotta do more research into it.
You think?
AI agents. Well, hey, don't be scared. Here's how Monday.com makes agents clear, easy, and user-friendly. First of all, they're gonna make our jobs much easier, and they're gonna take us to the next level.
But they're still broken.
Okay, so ironically, right behind us, there are CCTV cameras, privately owned, and then right over there, you see the flock camera, solar panel fueled. I mean, a very distinct aesthetic, right? A car is approaching. What's going through your head?
Hoping a cop doesn't pass right now. That'd be really important.
You would look awfully suspicious, wouldn't you?
I would look really suspicious.
And we see a lot of people cutting the poles themselves out of the ground, dismantling the flock camera. Why is your method as follows?
Super fast, super efficient. This thing is super handy.
Full cars coming your way over here. Okay, he's going for it. Okay, he's going in. The deflocking process has begun. He's deflocking the cameras. It's been deflocked. He's going in for the cable. Crack, snackle, pop.
Lights off.
That is negative, no go. Do not. I do not condone the stupidity involved in this footage.
But it is struggling.
I think that might be the flock camera over there on that street light.
Oh, right over there. Oh yeah. I think you're right. Can he climb the pole? Look at that thigh grip. He's going in for the flock. Tape is on. It's over. Flock number 3. This will be 3 flocks in one night. This cable looks a little bit thicker. And the cable has been clipped. As fast as they came, they disappeared into the night.
I think more people should fight for what they think is right. And,
I think that this shit right here is controlled chaos. I think that this right here is very close to anarchy. And if you do not have a better solution than what the offer is presented, then do not sit there and try to take down or obfuscate the fact that they're doing something good when even you yourself said that, like, they're just not being used right. So why go out there and act like you're doing something? It's so fucking dumbass, oxymoronistic. I can't even. I cannot. I will not. I just think it's so stupid.
Get your money up before you worry about getting flocked.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I feel like technology like this.
Anastasia's back here like,
yeah, don't get too mad. They're just idiots.
In a country where we talk about freedom and liberty, and we live in the best country in the whole entire world, and I'll stand on that all day long. I love our country. It's just unfortunately not the same country that I grew up in.
People will say, well, flock helps solve crime. Yes. To what extent and at what cost?
It doesn't really bother me too much unless they're like right up in my face and they're like, they can see my pubes. Like that's where I get really, really like worried. Sometimes when they gain power, the momentum keeps growing and it grows and grows and grows. And so we, the people, have to do whatever we can to stop it. So it's like a tight line of where we can see the intent is there, but sometimes when the government grows too big and grows too strong, then they might take it a step further and say, well, maybe there is no reasonable expectation of privacy in your house.
Well, it reminds me of a quote from one of our forefathers. Those who are willing to give up a little freedom to gain a little security will lose both and deserve neither.
After surveilling the CEO of Flock for 3 days, my private investigator found 3 separate cars, 3 separate routes, and 3 different plates. If the man who made his fortune recording your license plate changes his own every day to preserve his privacy, then what does that tell you about the value of privacy itself?
The reality is, the evidence that Flock prevents crime is non-existent. Cities that have been covered in Flock cameras saw the same crime reduction as cities with none, because crime fell nationwide everywhere at the same time. Flock simply stood in front of a falling curve it didn't cause and called it proof. That's the trick, taking a national trend and rebranding it as their result. Correlation sold as causation. But of course, Flock cameras have helped law enforcement solve crimes. That's real, and Flock will never hesitate to take credit for any case they're remotely involved with, while making sure to blame police officers when their technology gives them false positives. For anyone to call these cameras effective is to make a much bigger claim. It's to say that every dollar spent on Flock is the best possible use of that dollar, better than every single alternative it competes with. And look at what that dollar actually buys. In Oakland, California, Flock cameras produced more than 1 million alerts in a single year. So many that the police department had to switch the stolen vehicle notifications off because it didn't have enough officers to chase them. They built an alarm system that nobody was around to answer. So let's ask the real questions. Is blanketing America in Flock cameras the best use of money when the same money that could hire investigators to reopen 250,000 suspended cases is spent on more cameras instead? Are the innocent families
I don't know why they're using the same budget. That sounds like a bureaucratic problem. It doesn't sound like
misread plate.
It doesn't sound like a concept of action problem.
For every American who drives, logged, time-stamped, and searchable, worth the occasional stolen car recovered after the fact? Because that's the trade. Not safety for privacy, but the feeling of safety in exchange for the real thing we chose not to fund.
Dun dun dun. No. No.
streamer rages at me and cries. What is this? Is he really crashing out at everybody? Okay.
Say, good goy slop. Good little goy. Make a stupid YouTube video. Oh, yeah. Do that forever. You're a good little goy for them. Good slave. Nice. Slop.
No, I actually triggered this dude so hard, he looked like he was about to cry, but more on that later. I got so bad at my video, he tried to look me up and see what I look like.
Does he show his face, ever? This Muslim jihad, what is global jihad? They're just using these phrases. What is that?
I love how he's like, what's global jihad? By the way, there's a bunch of people invading Spain. Oh yeah, this is the future, brothers. This is it. Oh, I don't know what this is. What are you doing?
What is that? You see what Loomer's saying too?
Bro put his cursor on my chud face and didn't say anything. I clowned this fool so hard he started showing his viewer demographics.
Is this him proving that he doesn't have everybody watching him from Pakistan? Yeah, I don't know. It seems like at least 10% are from Pakistan.
Country, the United States.
Sure, buddy.
So what the hell even happened? Why is Sneeko of all people crashing out on me? Well, a couple weeks back I made a video sort of clouded on him for yelling Allahu Akbar in the street.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! We're not the same. We're not in the same conversation.
Yeah, because you're a fucking moron.
Oh, pipe down. I think you got a cortisol spike.
You ever been banned from a country? You ever been banned from Australia?
You better figure out your life's plan, man, because...
Have you?
Why would they follow the CIA?
Have
I'm
you?
literally an asset, Sneeko. I'm coming after you.
Have you ever had people with connections to the Trump administration tweeting, calling the FBI? You ever had to look around your apartment for bugs?
I doubt they're in your apartment, but they might be in your skin, dude. Pakistan had a power outage this morning. The whole country lost access to the internet. Sneeko is now at 29 viewers.
Wait, is he really at that low of viewers?
Are they really doing this to him? God damn. It's bad.
And look who he uses as a source. Yeah, well done.
A source for what? This is a joke, dude. Look at the chat.
He's
I would
mad.
side with Netanyahu if he said he would deport Sneeko.
The guy's name is Fart Butt Poop. Okay,
I know, right? Come on, bro. How is that a thing? Like, right?
Man.
Fantastic.
Amen
right.
to that one.
They talk about me more than they talk about Israel. They talk.
It's always the same fucking thing. Every single time, it always goes back to this one insular. A lot of places in Israel are pretty shitty. Tel Aviv is nice, but some of the places outside of it, not so great. All roads lead to Israel. Holy fuck, man.
Talk about me more than they talk about their country being occupied. Me more than the trillionaires giving hundreds of thousands of H-1B visas. They talk about me.
Oh, friendly fire, dude. You are an H-1B visa.
For legal reasons, that's a
People are speculating that Sneeko's fallen off and he's just botting his views because his chat is dead.
Are you guys asleep? What are you talking about? I bought my views. Do I need to show my KPP right now? You know what? Like, this is starting to...
I was calling him out for his YouTube viewers, and for some reason he wanted to show me his kick stats. Like, okay, dude, that's not what I said.
I'm about to do it.
I'm about
Don't
to
get
do
baited
it.
from this.
It was at this moment.
You're right. I won't.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
I'm
He
not
knew
buying.
he fucked up.
This is clarified by the Kick
He's not
CEO.
botting.
Sure, buddy.
Kick is also a gambling blood money website to stream on anyway, so I'm pretty sure...
Great. That means I can make a lot of blood money. Oh, awesome. I didn't know that. Do I get to do the sacrifice myself? Can I pay extra for that?
Sure, that's haram. Not that this dude knows anything about Islam or following its rules.
Astaghfirullah! I forgot!
If you're tuning in to Sneeko and
Oh my god, bro. The fucking... Oh, Jesus.
Big 2026, I got news for you. And then I swear to God he started...
You know, the thing is, too, like, these anonymous people hide forever because they're afraid of showing their own face.
Yeah, he actually cooked me. I have no recovery here.
You have never stood up against injustice. You have no idea what it's like.
Hey, take that back. I was the one complaining about Clove's pronouns back in the day. That is...
Richest man in the world from Africa, trillionaire. calling to deport me from my own country. What do you know about this? Have you ever been banned from Australia? I've been banned from Australia. You ever been banned off every platform?
No, they can't ban me.
I've been banned off every platform.
Yeah,
Bro went from
out there.
beefing Moist Critical to beefing WestJet. The fall off is incredible. Maybe he can put me on his list. This dude's genuinely schizophrenic. Like, he believes people are after him with, like, cameras, and the CIA and Mossad are, like, tracking his every move. You're really not that important, dude. Your vast audience is Pakistani teenagers and kids from Bangladesh. It is impossible to achieve any amount of aura if your eyes keep dark.
Is this just the post? Is this post went? Wow. I mean, I don't know if he can recover from this post. This is a really bad one.
Shut up. Oh shit.
No one knows Sneeko is in Israel. So you think Sneeko's in Israel right now? He's just pretending to be in New York. Why is he wearing a suit now? All of the politics streamers are wearing suits because Nick started wearing suits. So Nick has always worn a suit, and then Hassan started wearing a suit, and then Sneeko's wearing a suit now. That way it's like, well, maybe people will take me more seriously if I'm wearing this clothes. It's optics. It is. When are you getting one? I'm not getting a suit. I like the way I look. Like, you think I'm going to get dressed? Like, I barely even put on a fucking shirt. I picked this shit up off the floor.
This shit.
Over to seek the approval of chat every half second.
Kafir, 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 kafir.
Bro couldn't even pronounce it right.
Kafir.
Kafir. Like, it's genuinely getting embarrassing for this dude because he kept recreating the video and still kept looking at the chat. That even people like Tectone started clouding his ass.
Jesus, bro, really? Even oh wow.
Even allow the kafar to even speak to us. Oh, chat, did I do good? Was that funny? Deed, kafir. Silence. Is this a kafir?
And all of Pakistan erupted in cheer. Sneeko then tried to expose DMs with Tectone and ended up getting ratioed big time. Lol, you cropped out the whole DM because I cloud your brown ass sitting down. You were apparently
You beefed it out too and everything.
Why are you still using bots for your meetings? How else am I going to remember what happened? Just use granola. Okay, what's granola?
Anything like
so
this
granola's like a note taker or more like a notepad.
Any
It
point
just
in our
runs in the
lifetime.
background. But a bot never joins the call. You.
The old internet is coming back, bro. It's coming back, and I am so ready. I've been waiting on this for a while.
About to go vigilante on
supposed to debate the age of consent, which is
if you ever want to do an age of consent debate, oh shit. This is what Tectone said because Sneeko wanted to debate the age of consent, and
why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
You have never stood up against injustice. You have no idea what it's like. You don't. Cope. See.
I'm sorry. When I requested for troops, I didn't want wall breakers or goblins. Guess this makes me a bad guy.
What do you know about standing up for the truth? What do you know about tyranny? What do you know about oppression?
This guy got...
What? What the hell are you talking about? Damn.
Banned from Australia, dude. That's a blessing in disguise. That place sucks. Sneeko was banned from Australia to protect the community from foreign individuals traveling to the country to spread hatred, citing his promotion of anti-Semitism, racism, and misogyny.
You will never...
Sneeko's definitely anti-Semitic. I mean, here's the way I look at it, right? Is that if you are supporting Iran, or you're supporting any of these, like the Houthis or Hamas or anything like that, these groups want to systemically kill every single Jew on the planet. That's what their goal is. They want to kill every single Jew. Now, this is my opinion, okay? And maybe this is woke for me to say this, but I think supporting a group that wants to systematically kill every single Jew, I think that's anti-Semitic. I do. I think maybe that's just a bridge too far. Seems a little bit anti-Semitic to me. Now, maybe I'm being paid by Israel to say this, but that's just the way I feel.
It's just not
Not
realistic.
just Israel, but every Jew, biological and religious. Yes, you can read the Hamas charter that they've made, that they have never revised.
Just it's like
The
throwing the
Houthis have
baby
it
out with
on
the
their
bathwater.
flag, a curse on the Jew, not on Israel, not on Zionists, on the Jew.
Hold on, I can't see.
It's because they want to kill all the Jews.
Never be in this position. You're afraid. You're a coward. So stay over there.
I don't think Australia should have banned Sneeko, though, to be fair. I think Australia is a woke country that's run by a bunch of stupid liberal women. It's pathetic. But, you know, I do think he's anti-Semitic.
You know what, like, they banned Hobson,
And enjoy your
okay?
spot.
So, I mean, like, I wouldn't be
me,
worrying about
attacking me. These people are destroying your country and destroying your world. What did I do? I said God is great, and my eyes were too wide for you. This is what you're.
This is.
Your eyes are too wide.
Like, you're literally doing the leftist meme. The pretending to not understand what's being discussed. Like, everybody knows what you're everybody knows what's being discussed, but you're pretending to not understand it and using these, like, you know, really general terms to, like, make an argument of triviality towards what you're saying as if he's overreacting. That's not what's being discussed, and he knows that. This is always the point in which people like Sneeko, I think, lose the appeal of the wider audience. When people, at least the more discerning wider audience, which probably is the smaller audience, to be fair. But I will say that the moment that I see somebody do that, he is engaging. Like, Sneeko's not stupid, right? And even if you think he is stupid, he's certainly not this stupid. He knows what he's doing. And he is engaging in it willingly.
Bothered by?
Go to an airport through the TSA and start yelling this. Everyone knows he's yelling this aggressively for attention. And most of my real-life Muslim friends dislike this character because he's doing more harm to their reputation than, you know, anything good. It's basically just stirring the pot for attention, trying to anger as many people as possible. Also, this is stolen valor. Hassan Piker did it first.
Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical? Sure.
He even started wearing suits like Hassan did recently, and now he's replying to him on Twitter. Legends of LARP. Fellas, I'm about to expose myself. You know, before Sneeko did the Muslim drift, I sent him this message, and I know, embarrassing. I've
always been really nice to Sneeko, too. I've had nothing but positive, cordial, polite interactions with Sneeko. I disagree with the way that he acts, but I don't think that he's, like, I've never had a personal issue with him. This is very common.
Can't find an official figure of your favorite character? But modeling is too hard and custom orders are too expensive? With Hi 3D, just upload an image and AI generates an anime-style 3D model. Hair, outfits, and accessories are clearly presented. You can even export it to Blender for further refinement. Hi 3D helps bring your favorite characters from image to 3D model. One step closer to real collectibles. Try Hi 3D now.
Websites your competitors don't want you to know, part 2. All you do is go to this website, and it lets you find out exactly how much your competitors are making by showing you how much traffic they're getting, where the traffic's coming from, and even which social media platform is driving the most visits. It has a complete breakdown of all the recent ads they've been running, what type of keywords they rank for, and even the top competitors in their space. If you want to see how they stack up against their competitors, all you do is add them here, and it breaks down all their traffic and engagement benchmarked against each other. And their new feature, which is a game changer, is called AI brand visibility.
Word, guys, my hands are in the air.
Where are you going to deport me? I'm born here. He's putting the sad music as if I'm crying. I'm literally saying you can't.
Wait a second. Like, I mean, do you really think that people don't know where they would want to send you? Like, I mean, I don't understand. Like, why did you even ask this? Like, do you really think that the people that are saying they want to deport you don't have an idea in their head of where you're going to go? Like, they immediately, there's like probably, like, if the only problem with that would be them fighting over whose idea gets to go. Like, this is really ever you let them disrespect you. I don't allow people, like, it's not about disrespecting me. Like, I don't really even think about what other people do. Like, allowing a person to disrespect me would imply that I view that person's behavior as something that I need to correct. It's not really a big deal. I don't care really what people say.
Deport me. Elon, you want to deport me?
I kind of feel bad for him. He genuinely looks upset.
Cowards, bro. Cowards. Whoa, Sneeko victim much? You don't know what you have never said anything to resist the tyranny. You've never put your face out there.
I feel like he's a little too pressed. You know what I mean? Like, this dude needs to chill out. Like, the stuff is clearly getting to him. He's going out bad. He's having his friends.
His music better not be copyrighted. I'm gonna lose my shit.
You're not gonna show this. Oh my god.
I know.
Smile with your face and hate them in your heart is why you don't have personal issues with Sneeko. I do always have that perspective. I smile in someone's face and then I stab them in the back. And the reason why is that my mentality, I'm not talking about Sneeko. I don't think I've stabbed Sneeko in the back. But, like, in general, I always just simply choose the path of least resistance to achieving a goal. And whether this is being a duplicitous, lying piece of shit and betraying people, whether it's telling people what they want to hear and then stabbing them in the back later on, whether that is approaching and confronting them directly, I literally don't care what I need to do. I just do it. I just do whatever I think the best option is. I have no limiting factors here.
Just put on AI filters to pretend that he's debating Asmongold. And then he went to the Mecca, a holy place of prayer, and he's like the only dude with his phone out. Performative.
Something really... I didn't even realize... Wow. That's actually bad. Nobody else has their phone out, and he has his phone out. Oh my god.
That's pretty bad, isn't it?
That's fucking brutal. All for attention, I guess. Oh man, isn't it disrespectful to have your phone out and record there? I don't know what their culture is. I've no idea. Like what the Mecca and the Kaaba and everything. I don't know what the culture is.
A holy place of prayer, and he's like the only dude with his phone out. Performative.
Something really homoerotic about asking your friend to repeatedly wear a mask of various people you hate and lose a debate to you on purpose. Wait, what is this?
Telling you, Sneeko's going out bad. Asmongold is just face palming.
I mean, it's just it's so embarrassing to see something like that.
Well, I have never viewbotted and I never will.
Stop the cap.
I remember when you looked at my channel.
I don't know if he's viewbotted. I don't think Sneeko viewbots, but I'm not sure.
A while back and bugged out too.
Sneeko just ended his career. Fraud, idiot, help, guilty, idiot. Best of luck to you, man.
What happened to love speech, man?
I don't know for these people, bro. Our tax dollars are going to those bombs.
Sorry, Buster. I'm Canadian. We sent $22 million to Africa for beans for women for empowerment. Checkmate.
Say that I'm a grifter, that I'm chasing clout.
Why did he say that he's from Canada and then show a picture of Mudahar? Like, that's like third dimension, bro. That's third dimension. Like, what are we doing? Come on.
In fact, like, these are the people that are openly chasing clout the most, because if they were actually against the system, they wouldn't side with this trillionaire who's directly responsible for the largest wealth gap in the history of this country by far.
Bro wants to be Hassan Piker so bad.
This is again why these people are not on the side. They don't even, they're so brainwashed, they don't see how they're siding with the people that are destroying this country. And that the people that are really America first are me. Well, you sound like a libtard. That's kind of woke. So now being base is saying, yeah, trillionaires, let's go give them all the power.
Dude, just take some advice.
What the fuck is this? I don't even know what to say. Oh my god. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Advice from Smosh and shut up.
Shut up!
I'm sorry, guys, but Sneeko's a joke, and the joke isn't even funny. Nobody's laughing. He's like a washed-up Andrew Tate, but instead of specking for charisma, he's specced for whining.
Victim maxing.
Funny thing is, since 2022, his audience of children and mentally challenged adults, I mean myself, by the way, have all grown up, and everyone realizes this dude's just a laughingstock. His LARP has gone intercontinental. He can't even end the sentence without saying mashallah or inshallah or something.
He needs to know that it's real. It's real.
Classic Darvo tactics. He pisses people off.
Look at this. Look at the shaitan. They're mad that I'm saying inshallah and mashallah. God willing. God bless. God is good.
Maybe I'm wrong, which is very possible, but it does sound hella performative from a dude who doesn't even speak Arabic. Yes or no? Is Sneeko LARPing?
Yes, it comes off as yeah.
hit them with the copyright. Just let them talk, bro. That's all they have. That's all they have, bro. Had enough of these people, bro.
And again, sincere apology to all my Muslim viewers who have to deal with Sneeko. Fortunately, we ran out of time for this video.
Oh my god.
Why did you end it like that?
What a fucking video, man. Only speaks Klingon? That was really funny. And so I don't know what's going on with him. Like, I honestly think that he is, like, he is just really, he's in an interesting situation. Let me tell you that. And I do think it felt very IRL and personal, two people beefing. I feel like Sneeko's taking it very personally. And it is crazy that, like, ever since Nick said that he thought Sneeko was going to do a terrorist attack, I don't think Sneeko's going to do a terrorist attack. I don't think this is what's going to happen, but I can see why people think this. I can definitely see why people think this.
You're one sentence away from launching your website with Base 44. Since the beginning of the internet, there's never been such a fun, fast, and intelligent way to launch online. Landing pages, content hubs, e-commerce sites, you describe it and it's built in minutes. It's kind of wild how far a short prompt can get you. Right away, it generates a full site. Pages, structure, layout, design, it's all there. Next, styling. I shape it around my taste and ask for what I like. Darker palette, different font, this is the vibe. Now let's talk functionality. I want to capture emails, done. I need payments, easy. Anything else I need, I just keep going. From a few lines of text to a live website I can start sharing. No long...
This is a crazy situation right now.
Pedro Sanchez, gracias. I've already seen all that. I'm not watching it again, but that video is
Earlier you mentioned Morocco. What do you mean
Morocco?
Israel caused it? Israel and America got the Moroccan government to send like 40,000 people into Spanish-administered territory. It's not even on some conspiracy shit either. Like, the New York Times is openly covering it as such.
I love this line of messaging because it's actually completely in line with the way that I feel. He's basically saying that Israel attacked Spain with a bioweapon, and the bioweapon was immigrants. That's the whole point. See? Yes. All right, now we're coming around.
It was classic Israel in the way that they did it.
Israel and Morocco conspired together to import in a bunch of the same people that I want to import into the country to punish the country. And Israel and Morocco are bad because they were trying to punish Spain by importing in a bunch of the people that I want to come into the country. It's so insanely stupid. I can't even believe this.
It's not my damn fault.
Well,
the New York Times said Morocco did it. But did they say Israel told them to? No, they didn't.
So basically, even the New York Times said this. Well, did they say that? No, they didn't.
I'm skeptical that Israel and the U.S. got Morocco to do it. It seems like something Morocco did on its own. Really.
Everybody knows that these African countries can't do anything on their own. If Morocco ever does anything, they don't have their own autonomy. They can't make decisions. They don't have a government, obviously, right? Because we're not racist.
They were doing it after the American government literally signaled that they want Morocco to do it. Come on, dude. I don't know if Israel had much to do with this. They'll take advantage of it, but Morocco has done this before independently. I know, but never to
the chatter actually makes more sense than he does, and it's not even remotely close.
It has a lot to do with Spain's attitude against America, against NATO, against America's actions in Iran, and also Spain's statements against Israel as well.
This logic in my mind is so profoundly and impressively stupid, it doesn't even make me mad. This is coming from a person that wants to bring in a bunch of migrants and a bunch of these random people from Africa and the Middle East into Western countries. He's one of them, right? Why is it that this is even a bad thing? How are you framing this as a punishment that Israel and America are enacting on Spain when you want this punishment to be the actual policy? What the implication of this is? The act of the... Yes. Do you know, this is the reason why I refuse to condemn the Moroccan police and the Moroccan government. If you want one photograph for Asmongold, how do you want to handle immigration? This is the way Morocco deals with people trying to come back. Why doesn't this happen in China? Nobody knows. It's a mystery. Nobody knows why they don't do this in China. What the fuck is this? Oh, that's smart. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to get over this. I think this could just be the end of the migration problem right here. Yeah, this is it. It's over.
This season in cinemas. Maybe not, because this is a CookieBot ad. One business, one website, one expensive compliance mistake.
I know it's easy to set up, Marge, but it's not that urgent.
CookieBot.
Let's say a Baltic country.
I run a podcast solo.
Guys. Да.
Russia just attacked a NATO country, and this time it wasn't just some lowly drones going off course. It was a Russian KH-101, one of the most advanced cruise missiles that Russia has, which means chances of this being an accident are very, very low. Now here's the part that almost nobody saw coming. Somebody actually saw this attack coming weeks ago, wrote it down in detail before it ever happened. So in this video, we're gonna get into who that was and why Russia went ahead with the attack despite their plans being exposed. Putin was hoping that this attack would finally put Poland in its place. Maybe Poland stops helping Ukraine and starts worrying about its own defenses for once. Instead, he triggered the one outcome that he was trying to prevent. And that's just the first plan blowing up in his face. Because you see, Putin also sent an assassination squad into Ukraine to settle a personal score. Well, that mission did not go according to plan either. Honestly, everything Putin touches right now just turns to failure. Crimea is falling apart. Russian warehouses are vanishing at a pace where I had to double check the numbers myself. And inside of Russia, people are now moving past complaining. They're now saying things on live television that would have been unthinkable just a year ago. So as you guys know, my name is Sam and you're watching Business Basics. Let's get into all of this, starting with the biggest news we have this week. Russia attacking a NATO country. A Russian cruise missile leaves a crater inside of Poland roughly 60 miles from the Ukrainian border. And the official language, at least initially, called this attack yet another example of reckless acts by Russia. But was this really reckless? Because roughly a month ago, American intelligence published a report that said that something like this would be coming. It happened at the start of July. Take a look. There was a US warning that Russia was planning an attack on Poland to test NATO's resolve. And that warning was actually passed on to Polish president directly by US intelligence at the start of the last month. And it had a lot of details. Now before I get into the details, remember, we have seen this movie before. Back in 2022, and in fact even in 2021, US intelligence was telling Ukraine and telling Europe that Putin was planning a full-on invasion. Russian commanders actually did not know this themselves at that point, but US intelligence did know this. It's almost like they could read Putin's brain or maybe his letters. They had someone really close to him handing them everything. But the problem was that because of the Iraq War and everything that came before it, some major allies like Germany just did not buy what US was trying to tell Europe. They actually believed that this was some kind of American trick. And Ukraine wasn't buying it completely either. But unfortunately, with benefit of hindsight, we know it wasn't a trick. Putin did invade Ukraine, and that invasion is still going. Fortunately, because of the reluctance of European allies and Ukraine was actually less prepared than it could have been simply because the warnings weren't believed. And guess what? At the start of this month, the US intelligence hit the nail straight on the head. So let me show you this report that came out. According to the intelligence, Russia was considering a couple of provocation scenarios against Poland. One would be an accidental drone strike on critical infrastructure, something like a power plant, something that's very, very important. Another scenario would be an airstrike designed to activate Polish air defenses near the border. And then there's the most extreme scenario in this report, which would consist of literal hybrid attack in the border region, Russian troops would cross into Polish territory in this scenario.
Oh god.
The version would go something like Russia pretending that one of its helicopters or jets
If it
goes
would just
down
not
inside
lag, I
of
wouldn't
Poland
even need
because
to
of
try to do that,
GPS
but
failure. You know, just a
we're
honest
just
mistake.
stuck in
Then
this
a rescue mission gets
lag
activated
hole
and
here.
Russian troops cross into the border to get their guys out. But they never actually leave. They just end up occupying Poland's territory. Now, I know this does sound a little bit la-la land, but remember, this is the same country that truly believed that they would have Ukraine in 3 days. And on top of that, this is of course just Russia brainstorming what they could be doing. And this is like the craziest idea they had. The idea in this scenario would be that US or other NATO allies would stop Poland from firing back at Russian troops in its territory. And then Russia would negotiate with NATO, with the United States, and they would figure out some kind of deal that Russian troops would leave NATO territory. And in those negotiations, one Russian demand would be pretty simple. They want Western countries to end their military support for Ukraine. If everyone agrees, Russia pulls out its troops and it gets what it wants. Stop to Western aid to Ukraine. Like I said, sounds like La La Land. Now, of course, this idea does have some holes. First one being, Russia cannot actually afford a full-scale war with NATO right now. Because as you guys know, Russian troops are kind of busy in a 3-day special military operation that Putin doesn't like talking about. Now, of course, according to Russia, the best-case scenario in this situation would be they undermine Polish sovereignty, they make NATO look like a paper tiger, and then, lastly, the most important part, choke off Western support for Ukraine. And this would all be done without